Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. I'm so excited you're here because today we're diving into a timeless love reading all about your divine partnership. Yes, you heard that right, divine. So, if you're feeling called to uncover some truths about a significant connection in your life, you're absolutely in the right place. Now, before we dive in, let me explain a little bit about how to choose. We have 4 beautiful piles, each marked with a special crystal, but remember, this reading is timeless, so you're seeing this exactly when you're meant to. Trust your intuition in choosing the pile that calls to you. It's okay to check multiple piles, but always just take what resonates. Let's take a look at our crystal guides. First, we have this beautiful raw ruby crystal, and its theme is kindling the flame, passion, and equilibrium, all about balancing energies in your relationship. Next up, we have this radiant citrine sun with the theme Golden Hour Reflections, Shared Joy and Purpose. This one is all about happiness together. Then we have this malachite pyramid. Its theme is Emerald Sanctuary, growth, healing, and shared foundations, and it is so nurturing. Finally, we have this smoky quartz point with the theme Shadow and Light, unveiling deeper truths together. This is for those seeking a deeper understanding. So take a deep breath, center yourself, and allow yourself to be drawn to the crystal that resonates most with you. There's no pressure in your selection. Now, with your eyes closed, make a wish to receive clarity, insight, and connection in your divine partnership whenever you're watching this. And with that being said, go ahead and trust your intuition. I will see you in your reading. Okay, so you chose the ruby raw crystal, and rubies are all about balancing, right? And this whole reading is about kindling the flame, passion, and equilibrium. So it's like finding that fire but also keeping it steady, not burning out, And with these cards, 5 of Wands, 5 of Pentacles, and Page of Cups, it's like we're seeing a journey from a bit of chaos to a place of hope and like new beginnings in love. So exciting. All right, let's dive right into this 5 of Wands. Oh my gosh, this card is all about conflict, right? But it's not necessarily like a terrible, awful conflict. It's more like, a competition or like different ideas clashing. So in the context of a love reading, this could mean there's some inner turmoil you're experiencing, or maybe even some external conflict with your person, It's like you're both trying to get your point across, but maybe not quite hearing each other. Or you're hearing each other, but you're just not agreeing. And the thing about the 5 of Wands is it can feel really chaotic, like everyone's just swinging their wands around, trying to prove they're right, But underneath all that chaos, there's actually a lot of energy and potential. It's like all these different perspectives could actually lead to something really amazing if you can just find a way to, channel that energy in a productive way, if that makes sense. So, with this ruby, remember that balancing is so important. You're maybe trying to balance your own needs with the needs of your partner, or balancing your desire for passion with your need for stability. It's like finding that middle ground where everyone feels heard and respected, Okay, so that's the 5 of Wands. Now we have the 5 of Pentacles. Oof, this card can be a little tough, not gonna lie. It's all about feeling left out in the cold, feeling like you're lacking something, Like, maybe you're feeling financially insecure, or emotionally neglected, or just generally unsupported. And in a love reading, this could mean you're feeling disconnected from your person. It's like maybe you're going through a rough patch, and you just don't feel like they're there for you in the way that you need them to be. Or maybe you're feeling like you're giving more than you're receiving, It's like you're pouring all your energy into the relationship, but you're not getting anything back in return. And that can feel really isolating and lonely. But the thing about the 5 of Pentacles is that it's not a permanent situation, It's just a temporary setback. It's like you're going through a tough time right now, but it's not going to last forever. There is light at the end of the tunnel. You just have to, keep moving forward, even when it feels hard. And remember that ruby energy, that balancing energy. This is where it really comes in. It's like you need to find a way to balance your own needs with the needs of your relationship. It's okay to ask for help, it's okay to lean on your person, but it's also important to take care of yourself, Make sure you're getting enough rest, eating healthy, and doing things that make you happy. Because you can't pour from an empty cup, right? Okay, so we've got the Five of Wands, the Five of Pentacles, and now, drum roll please, the Page of Cups. Oh, this card is so sweet and innocent. It's all about new beginnings, new opportunities, and like open-heartedness. It's like a little messenger of love is coming your way, bringing you an invitation to connect on a deeper level. So, in the context of this reading, after all that conflict and feeling of lack, the Page of Cups is like a breath of fresh air, you know? It's like a sign that things are about to get better. This could mean your person is going to reach out to you, maybe with an apology or maybe just with a heartfelt message, you know. It's like they're finally opening up and showing you their vulnerable side. Or it could mean that you're the one who's going to reach out, you know? It's like you're ready to put the past behind you and offer your person a clean slate. Either way, the Page of Cups is all about communication and connection. It's like it's time to talk things out, to share your feelings, and to really listen to each other. And the thing about the Page of Cups is that it's not just about romantic love, you know? It's also about self-love. It's like you need to be kind and compassionate to yourself, especially after going through a tough time. Forgive yourself for any mistakes you've made and focus on your strengths, you know? You are worthy of love and happiness. So, tying it all together, it's like you've been going through a period of inner conflict and feeling a little bit lost or disconnected. And now, the Page of Cups is here to remind you that there is hope, that there is love, and that there is a way forward, you know. With the ruby crystal, remember the balancing act. The Five of Wands creates imbalance, the Five of Pentacles makes you feel unbalanced, but the Page of Cups is like, here's a chance to find your footing again, to bring equilibrium back into your life and your relationships. Think of it this way, the Five of Wands is like a storm, right? It's chaotic and overwhelming, but it doesn't last forever. The Five of Pentacles is like the aftermath of the storm, when you're feeling a little bit lost and vulnerable. But the Page of Cups is like the rainbow after the storm, a promise of brighter days ahead. It is like, this whole reading is about moving through challenges and finding your way back to love and connection, you know. It's about kindling that flame of passion, but also keeping it balanced and sustainable. And with the Page of Cups, it's like the universe is giving you a little nudge, saying, hey, it's time to open your heart and let love in. And I'm just feeling like a real sense of optimism here. It's like, even though things have been tough, you're on the right track. You're learning, you're growing, and you're becoming a stronger, more resilient person. And that's something to be really proud of. This journey of balancing and kindling, it's like, it's leading you somewhere amazing. I feel like, for a lot of you, this could manifest as like a renewed sense of hope in your current relationship. Maybe you've been feeling disconnected, but these cards are saying that there's a real opportunity to reconnect, to communicate more openly, and to deepen your bond. Or, for some of you, this could mean that a new relationship is on the horizon, you know? It's like you've been through a lot, and you're finally ready to open your heart to someone new. And the Page of Cups is like a sign that the universe is bringing you someone who is kind, compassionate, and ready to love you for who you are. But I think the most important thing is to remember to be kind to yourself, you know? It's like you deserve love and happiness, and you're worthy of a fulfilling relationship. Don't settle for anything less than you deserve. The Page of Cups is almost like the universe whispering, hey, remember to have fun, remember to be playful, remember to enjoy the journey. Even amidst the challenges, there's always room for joy and laughter, you know? So, yeah, that's kind of the overall vibe I'm getting from these cards. It's like a journey from conflict and lack to hope and love, with a little bit of balancing thrown in for good measure, you know? What do you think? Does that resonate with you at all? This Page of Cups energy is just so pure and full of potential. I'm so excited to see where this goes for you. Okay, get ready, because the next card is gonna add even more layers to this story. I can feel it. Okay, so get this, the next card we have is the Magician. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. Okay, so like after the Page of Cups with all that potential and new beginnings, we now have the Magician, which is like taking all of that and actually making it happen, you know. It's like you have all the tools you need, you have all the skills, all the resources, like everything is at your fingertips and you're ready to create your reality, you know? So, like, the Magician is all about manifestation, right? It's about taking your thoughts, your ideas, your desires, and turning them into something tangible, something real. And like, the imagery on the Magician card is so powerful, right? Like, you usually see all the four suits represented: the wand, the cup, the sword, and the pentacle. It's like you have access to all these different energies, all these different aspects of yourself, and you know how to use them, you know. So, in the context of this love reading, and like building on those previous cards, it's like you're not just hopping for love anymore, you're not just dreaming about it, you're actually taking action to create the love life that you want, you know? It's like you're becoming the master of your own destiny, the architect of your own heart. And I'm like, getting chills, this is so cool. But like, remember that ruby energy, right? The balancing. Because the Magician isn't just about, like, raw power and manifestation, it's also about balance and alignment, you know? It's about making sure that your actions are in harmony with your intentions, that your desires are aligned with your highest good. Because you can manifest anything you want, right? But if it's not aligned with your true purpose, if it's not coming from a place of love and authenticity, then it's not going to bring you lasting happiness, you know? So, like, thinking back to the Five of Wands, that conflict, that feeling of being pulled in different directions. The Magician is like helping you to bring all those different parts of yourself into alignment, you know. It's like you're learning to integrate those different perspectives, those different desires, and to channel them into a single, focused intention. And like, maybe that conflict wasn't just external, right? Maybe it was also internal, like different parts of you wanting different things, and the Magician is helping you to get clear on what you truly want and to create a plan to achieve it, you know? And then, like the Five of Pentacles, that feeling of lack, of not having enough. The Magician is like reminding you that you already have everything you need, you know? It's like you have all the skills, all the talents, all the resources within you to create abundance in your life, not just financially, but also emotionally, spiritually, in every way, you know? It's like you're tapping into your own inner power and realizing that you are the source of your own abundance. You don't need to rely on anyone else. You don't need to wait for someone to rescue you. You have the power to create your own reality, you know? And then, like the Page of Cups, that sweet, innocent energy of new beginnings. The Magician is like taking that new beginning and turning it into something solid, something lasting, you know? It's like you're not just open to love anymore, you're actively creating the conditions for love to flourish in your life. You're putting yourself out there, you're communicating your needs and desires, and you're attracting the kind of love that you deserve, you know? So, like, how could this play out in your life? There's like so many possibilities, right? I'm so excited to see what this means for you. Okay, so like, maybe you're in a relationship right now, and things have been a little rocky, a little disconnected, like we saw with the Five of Wands and Five of Pentacles, right? The Magician could be telling you that you have the power to turn things around, you know. It's like you can use your communication skills, your creativity, your problem-solving abilities to create a more loving, more fulfilling relationship. It's like you can initiate conversations, you can plan romantic dates, you can express your love and appreciation in creative ways, you know. And like, the key here is to be intentional, to be mindful, to really focus on what you want to create, you know. Don't just passively wait for things to get better. Take action, be proactive, and manifest the relationship of your dreams, you know. Or like, maybe you're single right now, and you're feeling a little discouraged, a little hopeless, like maybe you've been putting yourself out there, but you haven't been getting the results you want, right? The Magician could be telling you that it's time to change your approach, you know. It's like you need to get clear on what you're looking for in a partner, what your values are, what your needs are, and then start attracting people who are aligned with those things, you know? It's like you can use your personal power, your confidence, your charisma to attract the right kind of attention. You can update your dating profile, you can join new groups and activities, you can put yourself in situations where you're more likely to meet like-minded people, you know? And like, the key here is to believe in yourself, to believe that you are worthy of love, and to trust that the universe is conspiring to bring you the perfect partner, you know. And like, it could also be about self-love, right? The Magician is all about mastering your own inner world, about taking control of your thoughts and emotions, about creating a positive self-image, It's like maybe you've been neglecting yourself lately. Maybe you've been putting everyone else's needs before your own, and the magician is telling you that it's time to prioritize yourself, to take care of your body, your mind, and your spirit, It's like you can start practicing self-care rituals, you can start setting boundaries, you can start saying no to things that drain your energy, and yes to things that bring you joy, And the key here is to remember that you are the most important person in your life, and that you deserve to be loved and cherished by yourself and by others, So whatever the situation, the magician is all about empowerment, about taking control of your destiny, about creating the love life that you want, But it's also about balance, about aligning your actions with your intentions, about making sure that you're coming from a place of love and authenticity, It's like you have all the tools you need, you have all the power within you, you just need to believe in yourself and take action, And I'm just feeling so much excitement for you right now. It's like, this is a really powerful card, and it's coming at a really important time in your journey, It's like you're on the verge of something amazing, something transformative, and the magician is here to help you make it happen, Okay, so, get ready, because we still have more cards to pull, and I have no idea what's coming next, but I can feel that it's going to add even more depth and clarity to this reading, I'm on the edge of my seat, this is so exciting. What do you think so far? Does this magician energy resonate with you at all? Are you feeling inspired to take action and manifest your desires? I can't wait to see what happens next. Okay, so get this, the next card we have is the Nine of Swords. Oh man, okay, this card it's a heavy one, not gonna lie. After all that hopeful energy from the Page of Cups and the Magician, this feels like a bit of a jolt, But don't worry, it's not all doom and gloom. It's showing us something that needs attention, something that needs to be addressed, So the Nine of Swords, it's all about anxiety, fear, nightmares, those nights where you're just tossing and turning and your brain just won't shut off. It's like you're haunted by your thoughts, you're overwhelmed by your worries, and you just can't find any peace, It's that feeling of dread, that knot in your stomach, that constant sense of unease. But the thing is, the Nine of Swords isn't about actual, real danger, It's not like a threat that's coming at you from the outside. It's more about the fears and anxieties that you're creating in your own mind, It's like you're your own worst enemy. So, let's connect this to the previous cards, right? We had the Five of Wands, that conflict and chaos, and the Five of Pentacles, that feeling of lack and insecurity. It's like all that stuff, all that unresolved conflict and those feelings of inadequacy, they're now manifesting as anxiety and fear, It's like you're still carrying those burdens with you, and they're weighing you down, they're keeping you up at night, they're making it hard to breathe, And maybe that conflict from the Five of Wands never really got resolved. Maybe those feelings of lack from the Five of Pentacles are still lingering, and now they're just bubbling up as this intense anxiety, But then we had the Page of Cups, right? That new beginning, that hope, that invitation to connect. And the Magician, that power to create your own reality. So, even though you're feeling anxious right now, even though you're struggling with these fears, you also have the tools to overcome them, You have the potential for healing, you have the power to change your mindset, you have the ability to create a more peaceful and positive reality for yourself, The Nine of Swords is almost like a wake-up call. It's like the universe is saying, hey, you've come so far, you've made so much progress, but there's still some work to do. There are still some fears to face, some anxieties to release, some old wounds to heal. And remember that ruby raw crystal, that balancing energy? This is where it really comes in, It's like you need to find a way to balance your fears with your hopes, your anxieties with your joys, your negative thoughts with your positive affirmations, It's about finding that equilibrium, that middle ground, where you can acknowledge your fears without letting them consume you, where you can embrace your anxieties without letting them control you, Because anxiety, it's a natural human emotion, right? We all experience it from time to time. But it becomes a problem when it starts to interfere with your daily life, when it starts to affect your relationships, when it starts to steal your joy, And that's what the Nine of Swords is warning us about. So, what could be causing this anxiety, right? What could be triggering these fears? Well, it could be a lot of things, Maybe it's past trauma that you haven't fully processed. Maybe it's current stressors in your life, like work, relationships, or finances. Maybe it's just a general sense of uncertainty about the future, It could also be that you're overthinking things, you're catastrophizing, you're imagining the worst-case scenario, you're dwelling on negative thoughts, I do that all the time. It's like your brain just gets stuck in this loop of worry, and you can't seem to break free, And sometimes the anxiety can be about love, right? Maybe you're afraid of getting hurt again, maybe you're afraid of being rejected, maybe you're afraid of not being good enough, Or maybe you're in a relationship, and you're anxious about whether it's going to last, whether your partner is truly committed, whether you're making the right choices, It's like love can be scary because it makes us vulnerable. It opens us up to the possibility of pain, and that can trigger a lot of anxiety, I remember one time, I was so anxious about a relationship that I literally couldn't sleep for weeks. I was just constantly worrying about everything that could go wrong, and it totally ruined the relationship, I was so focused on my fears that I couldn't even enjoy the good things that were happening. So, the Nine of Swords, it's a reminder to not let anxiety sabotage your love life. It's a reminder to face your fears, to communicate your needs, to trust your intuition, and to remember that you are worthy of love and happiness, no matter what, But how do you actually cope with this anxiety, right? How do you break free from this cycle of fear? Well, there are a lot of things you can do, One of the most important things is self-care. It's you need to take care of your body, your mind, and your spirit, Get enough sleep, eat healthy foods, exercise regularly, spend time in nature, do things that you enjoy, It's when you're feeling anxious, it's easy to neglect yourself, to stop doing the things that make you happy, but that's the worst thing you can do. You need to prioritize self-care, even when you don't feel like it, Another thing you can do is practice relaxation techniques, like deep breathing, meditation, or yoga, These techniques can help to calm your nervous system, to quiet your mind, and to bring you back to the present moment, It's when you're feeling anxious, you're usually stuck in the future, worrying about things that haven't even happened yet. Relaxation techniques can help you to come back to the present, to focus on your breath, to appreciate the beauty of the moment, I find that even just 5 minutes of deep breathing can make a huge difference. And it's also important to challenge your negative thoughts, When you're feeling anxious, your brain tends to focus on the negative, to exaggerate the bad, and to minimize the good. You need to consciously challenge those thoughts, to ask yourself if they're really true, to look for evidence that contradicts them, to reframe them in a more positive light, It's you're training your brain to think differently, to see the world in a more balanced and realistic way, And don't be afraid to seek support from others, Talk to a trusted friend, family member, or therapist. Share your feelings, ask for advice, let them know what you're going through, It's sometimes just talking about your anxiety can make it feel less overwhelming. And other people may have helpful insights or perspectives that you haven't considered, It's also very helpful to recognize that you're not alone. So many people experience anxiety, and there are so many resources available to help you manage it, It's the Nine of Swords can feel isolating, but it's important to remember that you're part of a community of people who understand what you're going through and who are there to support you, It's finding that connection, that sense of belonging, can make a huge difference in your healing journey. And sometimes anxiety can be a sign that you need to make a change in your life, Maybe you're in a job that's not fulfilling, maybe you're in a relationship that's not healthy, maybe you're living in a place that's not serving you, It's anxiety can be a way for your intuition to tell you that something is out of alignment, that you need to make a different choice, that you need to move in a new direction, So, pay attention to your anxiety, listen to what it's trying to tell you, and be willing to make the necessary changes, even if they're scary, 'Cause sometimes the scariest things are the ones that lead us to the greatest growth. But ultimately, the goal is to find inner peace, right? To cultivate a sense of calm and serenity within yourself, regardless of what's happening in the outside world, It's about learning to trust yourself, to believe in yourself, to know that you can handle whatever life throws your way, It's about accepting your fears without letting them define you, about embracing your anxieties without letting them control you, about finding that balance, that equilibrium, that center within yourself, And I know it's not easy, it takes time, it takes effort, it takes patience, but it's possible, You can overcome your anxiety, you can find inner peace, you can create a more joyful and fulfilling life for yourself. You just have to believe in yourself and keep moving forward, But how does all of this relate to the love reading, right? Well, anxiety can have a huge impact on your relationships, It can make you clingy, or distant, or jealous, or controlling, or any number of things, It can make it hard to trust your partner, to communicate your needs, to be vulnerable and open, It can create a lot of conflict and tension, and it can ultimately sabotage your chances of finding lasting love, So, it's really important to address your anxiety, not just for your own well-being, but also for the health of your relationships, When you're feeling anxious, it's easy to project your fears onto your partner, to assume the worst, to misinterpret their actions, It's like you're seeing the world through a distorted lens, and that can create a lot of misunderstandings and hurt feelings, So, take responsibility for your anxiety, don't blame your partner for it, don't expect them to fix it, and work on managing it yourself, And if you're in a relationship, talk to your partner about your anxiety, let them know what you're going through, ask for their support, It's like being open and honest about your struggles can actually strengthen your bond. It can create a deeper level of intimacy and understanding, But also, be mindful of their boundaries. Don't overwhelm them with your anxiety. Don't expect them to be your therapist. And remember that they have their own needs and feelings too, And if you're single, be aware of how your anxiety might be affecting your dating life, Are you avoiding putting yourself out there because you're afraid of rejection? Are you sabotaging potential relationships because you're too anxious and insecure? Are you settling for less than you deserve because you don't believe you're worthy of love? It's recognize those patterns, challenge those beliefs, and start taking steps to overcome your anxiety so that you can attract the kind of love that you truly desire, Okay, so, that's the Nine of Swords. Deep breath, right? I know it's a lot, but it's also really important, It's this card is showing us something that needs our attention, something that needs to be healed, something that needs to be transformed. But the good news is, you have the power to do it. You have the potential to overcome your anxiety, and you have the support of the universe behind you, And I'm so excited to see what the next card is going to reveal, It's this card is setting the stage for some major healing and transformation, and I can't wait to see what guidance we're going to get on how to move forward, So, get ready, because the next card is going to add even more depth and clarity to this reading, and I have a feeling it's going to be really powerful, I'm on the edge of my seat, this is so exciting. What do you think so far? Does this Nine of Swords energy resonate with you at all? Are you feeling inspired to face your fears and find inner peace? I can't wait to see what happens next. Okay, so get this. After all that, the next card we have is the Emperor. Wow. Okay, so that's a big card, right? The Emperor is all about authority, structure, control, that very strong masculine energy, It's setting boundaries, being in charge, taking responsibility. But after the Nine of Swords, with all that anxiety and fear, this Emperor card, it feels different, It's not just about being powerful, it's about how you relate to power, how you use power, and how you perceive power, especially in the context of love and relationships. So, the Emperor can be amazing, right? It can represent a really strong, stable, supportive partner, someone who's a rock in your life, someone who provides security and guidance. But it can also have a shadow side, It can be about being too controlling, too rigid, too demanding, too authoritarian. And after that Nine of Swords, I'm kind of feeling this might be about that shadow side, or at least the potential for it, maybe you're dealing with someone in your life who's very emperor-like, who's very controlling or demanding, and it's triggering your anxiety, you know. It could be a partner, it could be a parent, it could be a boss, someone who's, like, in a position of authority over you. Or, like, maybe you're the one who's being a little bit too emperor-like, you know? Maybe you're trying to control things too much because you're feeling anxious and insecure, and that's actually pushing people away, you know? Like, think back to that Five of Wands, that conflict, that chaos. The Emperor can be about trying to impose order on that chaos, trying to, like, force everyone to get along, trying to dictate the terms of the conflict. But sometimes, that just makes things worse, you know? Sometimes, you need to let the chaos play out a little bit. You need to allow for different perspectives. You need to find a more balanced and collaborative approach, you know? The Five of Wands wants to be heard, and I think this Emperor is showing up as a warning against shutting those other opinions down, you know? And then, like, the Five of Pentacles, that feeling of lack, that insecurity. The Emperor can be about trying to compensate for that lack by, like, accumulating possessions, or achieving status, or controlling your finances, you know? But that never really fills the void, does it? It's like you're trying to find security in external things, when the real security comes from within, you know. Maybe there is a sense that this Emperor coming after that Five of Pentacles is a warning against defining yourself by what you lack. And then we move on to the Page of Cups, that new beginning, that open-heartedness, that vulnerability. The Emperor can be about, like, putting up walls to protect yourself from getting hurt, about being afraid to show your emotions, about being afraid to be vulnerable. But that also blocks you from experiencing true love and connection, you know? It's like you're so busy trying to be strong and in control that you're missing out on the beauty of being open and receptive. It's almost like the Emperor is a tough love energy that is getting in the way of the gentler, kinder Page of Cups energy. And then, like the Magician, that power to manifest your desires. The Emperor can be about trying to force your desires into reality, about being impatient and demanding, about not trusting the process. But manifestation works best when you're in alignment with the universe, when you're flowing with the natural rhythm of things, when you're surrendering to the divine timing, you know. Maybe this Emperor is showing that you need to give up some control over the timing of your manifestations, or maybe that you're not being realistic about what is truly possible in your current situation. And of course, the Nine of Swords, that anxiety, that fear, that those sleepless nights. The Emperor can be about trying to suppress those feelings, about trying to be strong and stoic, about pretending that everything is okay when it's not. But that just makes the anxiety worse, you know? It's like you're bottling up all those emotions, and they're eventually going to explode, right? So, like, what's the solution, right? How do you balance that Emperor energy with all these other energies? Well, I think it comes back to that ruby raw crystal, that balancing energy, right? It's about finding a healthy balance between masculine and feminine energies within yourself, you know. It's about being strong and assertive when you need to be, but also being open and receptive, being vulnerable and compassionate, being willing to surrender and trust, you know. It's also about finding your own inner authority, you know. You don't need to rely on external sources of power or validation. You have everything you need within you. You have the wisdom, the strength, the courage to make your own decisions, to set your own boundaries, to create your own reality, you know. And it's about being mindful of your thoughts and emotions, especially when you're feeling anxious, you know. Are you being too rigid in your thinking? Are you being too critical of yourself or others? Are you trying to control things that are simply beyond your control? It's like you need to catch yourself when you're falling into those patterns and consciously choose a different approach, a more balanced and compassionate approach, you know? So, like, how could this play out in your life, right? Well, maybe you're in a relationship where your partner is very controlling, very demanding, and it's making you feel anxious and suffocated. The Emperor could be telling you that you need to set some boundaries, you need to assert your own needs, you need to reclaim your power in the relationship, you know. It's like you can be loving and supportive, but you also need to stand up for yourself and not allow yourself to be controlled or manipulated. Or maybe you're single and you're attracting partners who are very Emperor-like, who are very dominant and controlling. The Emperor could be telling you that you need to be more discerning about who you let into your life. You need to look for partners who are more balanced and compassionate, who respect your boundaries and value your independence, you know. This Emperor energy could be an invitation to reflect on your own dating patterns and to be more mindful about your choices in relationships. And maybe you're the one who's being too controlling in your relationships, you know. Maybe you're trying to micromanage everything. Maybe you're being too critical or demanding. Maybe you're not trusting your partner enough. The Emperor could be telling you that you need to loosen your grip, you need to let go of some control, you need to trust that your partner is capable of making their own decisions and taking care of themselves, you know. Or maybe you're just feeling generally anxious and overwhelmed by life, and you're trying to control everything as a way to cope. The Emperor could be telling you that you need to find a more balanced and sustainable way to manage your stress. You need to practice self-care. You need to surrender to the flow of life. You need to trust that everything is happening for a reason, even if you don't understand it right now, you know. This also could suggest you need to mother yourself with some of that Emperor energy. I know that seems strange, but give yourself rules and boundaries that can feel good, you know? Structure your days so you are getting what you need. Ultimately, I think this Emperor card is about finding a healthy relationship with power, both within yourself and in your relationships with others, you know. It's about being strong and assertive without being controlling or rigid. It's about setting boundaries without building walls. It's about taking responsibility without becoming overwhelmed. It's about finding that balance, that equilibrium, that centeredness that comes from within, you know. And I'm just feeling so curious about what the next card is going to be, because it feels like this Emperor card is setting the stage for some major transformation, you know. It's like we're being challenged to reevaluate our relationship with power, to find a more balanced and authentic way of being. And I'm so excited to see what guidance we're going to get on how to move forward, you know? Are you ready? I'm so excited. Does any of this Emperor energy resonate? Okay, so get this, the next card is the Four of Pentacles. Okay, so after that Emperor energy, which is all about big picture control and authority, now we have the Four of Pentacles, which is way more personal, way more focused on your own stuff, you know? It's all about holding on tight, about being careful with what you have, about security and stability. But there's also a shadow side to this card, right? It can be about being stingy, about being afraid of scarcity, about hoarding your resources, both material and emotional, you know? So, let's connect this to the whole story so far, right? We started with the Five of Wands, that conflict, that chaos, and the Five of Pentacles, that feeling of lack, that insecurity. It's like those experiences have made you really afraid of losing what you have, you know? It's like you're clinging to your possessions, your money, your relationships, because you're afraid of going back to that place of feeling lost and vulnerable, you know? And I totally get that, after going through a tough time, it's natural to want to create a sense of security for yourself. But the thing is, holding on too tight can actually backfire, you know? It can create a sense of stagnation, it can prevent you from growing and evolving, and it can even push people away, you know? Think of it if you're so busy guarding your heart, you won't even let anyone in, you know? I think it's important to consider if there is a lesson about learning to be vulnerable here. So this card could be a sign that you're being called to loosen your grip a little bit, to trust that the universe will provide, and to be more open to sharing your resources with others. And then we had the Page of Cups, that new beginning, that open-heartedness. The Four of Pentacles can be about closing yourself off to new possibilities, about being afraid to take risks, about sticking with what you know, even if it's not really serving you, you know. Maybe there is a sense that this is a call to be more gentle with yourself. It's like you're so focused on protecting yourself that you're missing out on the joy of new experiences, the excitement of new connections, the potential for new love, you know. It's almost like you're so focused on saving for a rainy day that you're not even enjoying the sunshine, you know. And then, the Magician, that power to manifest your desires. The Four of Pentacles can be about blocking your own abundance, about being afraid to invest in yourself, about not believing that you deserve to have more, you know. It's like you have all these amazing talents and abilities, but you're not using them to their full potential because you're afraid of failing, or you're afraid of what other people will think, or you're just afraid of putting yourself out there, you know. Maybe there's also a sense that you need to be more gentle with yourself. But then we get to the Nine of Swords, that anxiety, that fear, those sleepless nights. And I think this is where the Four of Pentacles gets really interesting, you know? Because the anxiety could be coming from this very need to control, this need to hold on tight. It's like you're so afraid of losing everything that you're constantly worrying about money, about your relationships, about your future, you know? It's like, the more you try to control things, the more anxious you become, and the more anxious you become, the more you try to control things, and it's just this vicious cycle, you know. And then, the Emperor, that authority, that structure, that control. The Four of Pentacles can be about internalizing that Emperor energy, about becoming your own worst critic, about setting impossibly high standards for yourself, about feeling like you have to be perfect all the time, you know? And maybe that's not helpful, you know. It's like you're so busy trying to be in control that you're not even allowing yourself to be human, to make mistakes, to be vulnerable, you know? So, like, what's the key here, right? How do you break free from this cycle of fear and control? Well, I think it starts with recognizing that you are safe, you know. You are strong, you are resilient, and you have the power to handle whatever comes your way, you know? Like that Five of Pentacles feeling, it doesn't have to define you. It's like, you don't need to cling to things so tightly because you know that you can always create more, you can always find support, and you can always rebuild if you need to, you know. It's about shifting your mindset from scarcity to abundance, from fear to trust, from control to surrender, you know? You have so much inside of you. And it's also about being more generous, both with yourself and with others, you know? It's like, the more you give, the more you receive, you know? When you share your resources, your time, your love, your energy, you're actually opening yourself up to receive even more in return, you know? But like, don't just give to give, right? Give because it feels good, give because you want to make a difference, give because you believe in something, you know? It's got to be authentic. You know, this might sound weird, but this card could also be about, like, your physical body, right? Are you holding on to tension? Are you clenching your jaw? Are you afraid to let go and just, like, relax? The Four of Pentacles can be a reminder to loosen up, to stretch, to breathe, to connect with your body and release any pent-up energy, you know. Maybe treat yourself to a massage or a yoga class. And in terms of love and relationships, this card could be about being afraid to commit, about being afraid to open up, about being afraid to get hurt, you know? It's like you're building walls around your heart to protect yourself, but those walls are also keeping love out, you know? So, like, maybe this is about being open and receptive to love. It's about being willing to take a risk, to be vulnerable, to trust that you're worthy of love and happiness, you know? Maybe you could work to find ways to healthily express your vulnerability. Or, like, maybe you're already in a relationship and you're being too controlling, too possessive, too jealous, you know? The Four of Pentacles could be a reminder to trust your partner, to give them space, to respect their independence, to let go of the need to control everything, you know? Trust is essential, you know? It's like the more you try to control your partner, the more likely they are to pull away, you know? So, like, how does this connect to that ruby raw crystal, right? The balancing. I think it's all about finding a balance between security and freedom, between control and surrender, between giving and receiving, you know. It's about recognizing that you can create security for yourself without having to hoard everything, that you can be in control of your life without having to control other people, that you can be open to love without having to sacrifice your independence, you know. It's also about finding a balance between your material and emotional needs, you know. It's like it's important to have enough money to feel secure, but it's also important to have meaningful relationships, to have a sense of purpose, to have joy and fulfillment in your life, you know. It's about recognizing that true wealth is not just about money, it's about having a rich and fulfilling life in every area, you know. I really do think there is a lesson here to embrace self-compassion, especially when you feel most vulnerable. And I think ultimately, this Four of Pentacles is a reminder to trust yourself, to trust the universe, and to trust that you have everything you need to create a happy and fulfilling life, you know. It's about letting go of fear, embracing abundance, and opening yourself up to all the amazing possibilities that are waiting for you, you know? You have the power to transform that Five of Pentacles feeling to create a life of joy and security. Okay, so what do you think? Does this Four of Pentacles energy resonate with you at all? Are you feeling inspired to loosen your grip, to be more generous, and to trust in the abundance of the universe? I'm so curious to see what the next card is going to be, because I feel like this card is setting the stage for some major breakthroughs, you know. It's like we're being challenged to release our fears and embrace our potential, and I can't wait to see what guidance we're going to get on how to move forward, you know? So, get ready, because the next card is going to add even more depth and clarity to this reading, and I have a feeling it's going to be really powerful, you know? Are you ready for the next card? Okay, so get this. The final card, the one that's gonna bring it all home, the King of Wands. Okay, so after all that, after the conflict, the lack, the anxiety, the controlling energy, the hoarding, we finally have the King of Wands. This is so powerful. This card is all about, leadership, vision, passion, confidence, and just, taking charge, you know. It's like you're not just waiting for things to happen anymore, you're making them happen. You're not just reacting to life, you're creating it, you know? And after all those other cards, this feels like such a relief, right? It's like, yes, finally, some forward momentum, some positive energy, some clear direction. But it's not just about, randomly charging ahead, right? It's about channeling all that fire, all that passion, in a way that's aligned with your values, with your purpose, with your highest good, you know? And that's where that ruby raw crystal comes in, right? That balancing energy. Because the King of Wands can be a little bit impulsive, a little bit reckless, a little bit prone to burning out if he's not careful, you know. So, you need to balance that fire with some earth, some water, some air, you know. You need to ground yourself, connect with your emotions, and think things through before you act, you know. But let's break this down, right? Let's connect this King of Wands to all those other cards we pulled. So first, we had the Five of Wands, that conflict, that chaos, those clashing ideas. The King of Wands knows how to navigate that kind of situation, you know? He's not afraid of conflict, but he doesn't create it unnecessarily. He knows how to listen to different perspectives, how to find common ground, and how to inspire people to work together towards a common goal, you know? He doesn't try to suppress the conflict. He uses it as a catalyst for creativity and innovation. It's like he sees the potential in all those different viewpoints and knows how to channel that energy into something amazing. And then, the Five of Pentacles, that feeling of lack, that insecurity, that sense of being left out in the cold. The King of Wands knows how to overcome that, you know? He doesn't let those feelings define him. He knows that he has the power to create his own abundance, his own security, his own sense of belonging, you know? He doesn't focus on what he's missing, he focuses on what he has and how he can use it to create a better future. He knows that he's worthy of love, worthy of happiness, worthy of success, and he doesn't let anyone tell him otherwise. And the Page of Cups, that new beginning, that open-heartedness, that invitation to connect. The King of Wands takes that invitation and runs with it, you know? He's not afraid to be vulnerable, to be authentic, to be himself. He knows that true connection comes from being real, from sharing your heart with others, from being willing to be seen and accepted for who you are, you know. He's not afraid of rejection, because he knows that the right people will love him for who he is. He isn't worried about the people who aren't for him. And the Magician, that power to manifest your desires. The King of Wands takes that power and uses it wisely, you know? He doesn't just manifest whatever he wants without thinking about the consequences. He aligns his desires with his values, with his purpose, with his highest good. He knows that true manifestation comes from being in harmony with the universe, from trusting the process, from surrendering to the divine timing, you know? And the Nine of Swords, that anxiety, that fear, those sleepless nights. The King of Wands doesn't let those things stop him, you know. He acknowledges his fears, but he doesn't let them control him. He knows that fear is just a signal that he's about to step outside of his comfort zone, and that's where the magic happens, you know? He uses his fear as fuel to propel him forward, to make him even more determined to succeed. And the Emperor, that authority, that structure, that control. The King of Wands takes that energy and uses it for good, you know? He's not a tyrant, he's a leader. He doesn't try to control people, he inspires them. He doesn't impose his will on others, he empowers them to find their own path, you know? He knows that true leadership comes from serving others, from helping them to grow and develop, from creating a world where everyone can thrive. And then finally, the Four of Pentacles, that holding on tight, that fear of scarcity, that need for control. The King of Wands knows when to hold on and when to let go, you know. He's not afraid to take risks, to invest in himself, to share his resources with others. He knows that true abundance comes from being generous, from being open-handed, from trusting that the universe will always provide, you know. He's not attached to material possessions, he's attached to his values, to his purpose, to his relationships. So, how does all this play out in your life, right? Well, maybe you're single and you've been feeling a little bit lost, a little bit unsure of yourself, a little bit afraid to put yourself out there. The King of Wands is telling you to step into your power, to embrace your confidence, to go after what you want, you know? Don't be afraid to take the lead, to initiate conversations, to ask someone out, to be yourself authentically. The right person will be attracted to your fire, to your passion, to your vision. Trust that you are worthy of love and happiness, and don't settle for anything less than you deserve. Or maybe you're in a relationship and things have been feeling a little bit stale, a little bit disconnected, a little bit lacking in passion. The King of Wands is telling you to reignite that flame, to bring some excitement and adventure back into your relationship, you know? Plan a surprise date, try something new together, express your love and appreciation in creative ways, be spontaneous, be playful, be passionate. Don't let your relationship become a routine. Keep it fresh, keep it exciting, keep it alive. It's also saying to be a leader in the relationship and communicate your needs. Be willing to listen to your partner's needs and work together to create a relationship that is fulfilling and satisfying for both of you. And it's not just about romantic love, right? The King of Wands is also about self-love, about embracing your own inner fire, about pursuing your passions, about living your life to the fullest, you know? What are you truly passionate about? What makes you feel alive? What ignites your soul? Whatever it is, go after it with all your heart, with all your energy, with all your passion. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't do it. Don't let anyone dim your flame. You have a unique gift to offer the world, and it's your responsibility to share it. The King of Wands is also about inspiring others, about being a role model, about leading by example, you know? How can you use your fire, your passion, your vision to make a positive impact on the world? How can you inspire others to step into their own power, to pursue their own dreams, to live their own lives to the fullest? The world needs your light, your energy, your leadership. Don't be afraid to shine brightly, to be a beacon of hope, to inspire others to create a better future. And remember that ruby raw crystal, right? That balancing energy. The King of Wands isn't just about action, it's about inspired action, you know? It's about aligning your actions with your values, with your purpose, with your highest good. It's about being mindful of your impact on others, about being responsible with your power, about using your energy to create a world that is more just, more equitable, more loving, more compassionate, you know? And I'm just feeling so much excitement for you right now. It's this is such a powerful card to end on, you know? It's you've been through a lot, you've faced a lot of challenges, but you've also learned a lot, you've grown a lot, and you're now ready to step into your power and create the life you've always dreamed of, you know? This King of Wands is an invitation to embrace your leadership potential, to ignite your passions, and to take bold action towards your goals, knowing you have the wisdom, courage, and fire within you to achieve anything you set your mind to. So, what do you think? Does this King of Wands energy resonate with you? Are you feeling inspired to step into your power, to embrace your passion, and to create the life you've always dreamed of? I'm so excited to see what you do with this energy, you know? I have a feeling you're going to do amazing things. Just remember to stay balanced, to stay grounded, to stay true to yourself, and to never give up on your dreams, you know? And always remember that you are loved, you are supported, and you are capable of anything you set your mind to. Now go out there and be a king or queen of wands. You got this. Okay, so with the citrine sun crystal, you know, this reading is all about centering yourself and finding joy, even when things get a little, intense. And the golden hour reflections theme? It's like looking back on everything with a sense of warmth and clarity, seeing the beauty in the journey, you know? All right, so first up, we have the Tower. Oh boy. The Tower is like, the ultimate shake-up card. It's all about sudden change, unexpected events, and the complete collapse of something that just isn't working anymore. Now, I know, the Tower can seem really scary, like, oh my gosh, everything's falling apart. But trust me, it's actually a good thing in the long run. It's like the universe is clearing out the old to make way for the new, you know? Think of it as a necessary demolition before you can build something amazing. So, with the Tower here, I'm feeling like there's been some kind of major upheaval in your life, or maybe in your person's life, or even in the relationship between you two. It could be something external, like a job loss or a move, or it could be something internal, like a shift in beliefs or a sudden realization about what you truly want. You know, it could be anything. But the key thing is that it's unexpected. Like you didn't see this coming. It's like bam, out of nowhere, everything changes. And it can feel really disorienting and scary, like you've lost your footing. But it's important to remember that this is happening for a reason. The universe is trying to get your attention, to push you in a new direction. You know, it's like, maybe you've been holding onto something that's no longer serving you, or maybe you've been ignoring a problem that needs to be addressed. The Tower is here to force you to face it, to break down the walls that you've built up around yourself. And, you know, sometimes the Tower can represent a literal event, like a breakup or a falling out with someone close to you. It could be that there's been a major conflict or disagreement that has caused a rift in the relationship. Or maybe it's just that you've realized that you're on different paths and that you can't continue together. But even if it's painful, it's important to remember that this is happening for your highest good. It's like, sometimes you have to let go of something in order to make room for something better. But you know, the Tower isn't just about destruction. It's also about revelation. It's about seeing the truth, even when it's hard to face. It's like the scales falling from your eyes and suddenly you see things as they really are. Maybe you've been in denial about something for a long time, or maybe you've been afraid to admit the truth to yourself. The Tower is here to shine a light on the situation and to help you see things clearly. And with the citrine sun energy, I feel that this Tower moment is truly a positive one. It may not feel like it right now, especially if you are in the thick of it, but I'm getting that this necessary change will truly bring you two closer. It's like the love that is meant to be will always find its way, even through explosions and unexpected turns. And you know, maybe this Tower moment is all about your person. Like maybe they are finally realizing that they are ready for true, authentic love, and that means changing everything they once thought they knew. It's like a complete rebirth for them, and it's scary. But it's like you said something or did something that was the final straw. You were the catalyst. And they are forever changed because of it. Or it could be that you're the one having the Tower moment. You're realizing that you deserve more, that you're not willing to settle for less. And that's incredibly powerful. It's like you're finally standing up for yourself and saying, enough is enough. And that's going to attract the right kind of energy to you. The King of Cups and King of Wands energy. So, yeah, the Tower is intense, but it's also a sign of growth and transformation. It's like you're being pushed to evolve to become a better version of yourself. And that's always a good thing, even if it doesn't feel like it at the time. Okay, so, after all that Tower energy, we have the King of Cups. And oh my gosh, this is such a beautiful card. The King of Cups is all about emotional maturity, balance, and compassion. He's like the master of his emotions. He knows how to feel deeply, but he doesn't let his emotions control him. He's able to navigate his feelings with grace and understanding. So, with the King of Cups here, I'm feeling like this is either you or your person stepping into a place of emotional maturity. It's like, after the chaos of the Tower, you're learning how to process your emotions in a healthy way. You're not suppressing them or running away from them. You're actually facing them head-on and learning from them. And, you know, the King of Cups is also a very compassionate person. He cares deeply about others and wants to help them in any way he can. He's the kind of person who's always there to lend a listening ear or offer a shoulder to cry on. He's a true empath. So, if this is your person, it could mean that they are finally learning how to be more emotionally available in the relationship. Maybe they've had a hard time expressing their feelings in the past, or maybe they've been afraid to be vulnerable. But now they're realizing that emotional intimacy is essential for a healthy relationship. They are ready to communicate with you in a much healthier way than they ever have before. And if this is you, it could mean that you're learning how to set healthy boundaries in the relationship. You're not letting your emotions get the best of you, and you're not allowing your person to take advantage of you. You're standing up for yourself and saying, "This is what I need in order to feel safe and loved." That's huge. The King of Cups also has a very calming presence. He's able to create a sense of peace and harmony wherever he goes. He's the kind of person who can diffuse a tense situation with his words and his demeanor. And, sometimes the King of Cups can represent a therapist or counselor. It could be that you or your person is seeking professional help in order to work through your emotions. And that's a really positive thing. It shows that you're both committed to growth and healing. But no matter who this King of Cups represents, the key thing is that he's bringing a sense of emotional balance to the situation. He's helping to create a safe and supportive environment where you can both express your feelings freely and honestly. It is like he is the bridge to a whole new world for you both, one where you feel safe and seen. Think of it this way, the tower shook things up, right? It created chaos and uncertainty. But the King of Cups is here to bring things back into balance. He's like the calm after the storm, and he's helping you to rebuild your relationship on a stronger, more solid foundation. This foundation is made of trust, compassion, and understanding. He is really teaching you how to love in a healthy way, not a codependent way, not an anxious way, but a truly authentic, loving way. And that's a gift. That's why this reading is so beautiful, because it's showing you that even after the most difficult challenges, it's possible to find peace and harmony. And with the citrine sun crystal, I truly feel like this King of Cups energy is going to help you both find joy and happiness in the relationship. It's like you're learning how to appreciate each other on a deeper level and how to create a connection that is truly fulfilling. Okay, so we've got the tower shaking things up, the King of Cups bringing emotional balance, and now we have the King of Wands. Oh, this king is fire. He's all about passion, action, and confidence. He knows what he wants and he's not afraid to go after it. So, with the King of Wands here, I'm feeling like this is the energy that's going to drive you forward after the tower moment and the emotional healing of the King of Cups. This king is not one to sit around and wait for things to happen. He's a go-getter, a leader, and an entrepreneur. He's all about taking initiative and making things happen. So if this is your person, it could mean that they are finally ready to commit to the relationship. Maybe they've been hesitant in the past, or maybe they've been afraid of taking the next step. But now they're feeling confident and inspired, and they're ready to take action. They are so ready to make a grand gesture and show you how much they care. It's like they are planning something big for you. I can feel it. And if this is you, it could mean that you're finally ready to pursue your dreams. Maybe you've been putting them off for a long time, or maybe you've been afraid of failing. But now you're feeling empowered and motivated, and you're ready to take a leap of faith. The King of Wands is also a very charismatic person. People are drawn to him because of his confidence and his enthusiasm. He's able to inspire others to follow his lead. And, sometimes the King of Wands can represent a mentor or a coach. It could be that you or your person is seeking guidance from someone who can help you achieve your goals. And that's a really powerful thing. It shows that you're both committed to growth and success. He really has that it factor. People just gravitate to his energy. He can walk into any room and command attention without even trying. He just has a natural magnetism about him. But no matter who this King of Wands represents, the key thing is that he's bringing a sense of passion and purpose to the situation. He's helping you to create a life that is aligned with your values and your dreams. Think of it this way, the tower shook things up, the King of Cups brought emotional balance, and the King of Wands is providing the spark of passion and purpose. He's like the fire that's igniting your soul and driving you forward. And with the citrine sun crystal, I feel like this King of Wands energy is going to help you both find success and abundance in all areas of your life. It's like you're learning how to manifest your desires and how to create a life that is truly fulfilling. So, to sum it all up, we have the Tower, the King of Cups, and the King of Wands. This is a powerful combination of energies that is all about transformation, emotional healing, and passionate action. The Tower shakes things up, the King of Cups brings emotional balance, and the King of Wands provides the spark of passion and purpose. And it feels like your person is about to step into their King of Wands era, and how will that affect your connection? Let's see what the next card reveals. Okay. So where were we? Right, your person about to step into their King of Wands era. Or maybe you are, but regardless, it feels like a huge shift is happening, a real turning point. So let's see what the next card reveals about this divine partnership. Oh wow, okay, deep breath. We have the Hierophant. Okay, so the Hierophant. This is a card about tradition, institutions, and established systems. But don't let that scare you. Because with this citrine sun energy, I think we're looking at something really interesting here. It's not just about following the rules for the sake of following them, you know? It's about finding meaning and purpose within those structures, or maybe even redefining them. The Hierophant is like the bridge between the spiritual and the material world. He's the one who can take these abstract concepts, like love and commitment, and turn them into something tangible, something real. He's all about making things official, about putting a label on things, about following the proper channels, if that makes sense. But here's the thing, and this is so key. The Hierophant isn't always about blind obedience. It can also be about challenging the status quo from within. It's about understanding the rules so well that you can bend them, or even break them, to create something new. So, how does this relate to your divine partnership? Well, with the Tower shaking everything up, and then the Kings of Cups and Wands coming in with emotional maturity and passion, the Hierophant is saying, okay, now what? What are you going to do with all this energy? Are you going to follow the traditional path? Are you going to get married? Are you going to move in together? Are you going to start a family? Or are you going to create your own definition of partnership? Are you going to rewrite the rules? I think that's what the cards are saying, and that's what the citrine sun is all about. Centering yourself, finding your joy, and then using that as a guide to create a relationship that is authentic and fulfilling. It's like you get to decide what the rules of your relationship actually are. No more following what your family wants or what society expects. This is about what you and your partner actually desire. It's about finding your own way to express your love and commitment, even if it's not what everyone else expects. Okay, but let's dive a little deeper, right? Because this could mean a few different things depending on where you're at, and if the King of Wands is you or your person. So, let's start with you. If you are embodying the King of Wands energy right now, and you're feeling that passion and drive, the Hierophant is showing that you are ready to really commit, but maybe on your terms. Like you said, enough is enough. You are ready for a relationship that works for you, not one that just follows old patterns. So, maybe this means you're ready to have a serious conversation with your person about what you both want. You're ready to define the relationship, to put some boundaries in place, to make sure you're both on the same page. Like maybe you're ready to say, okay, I'm ready to take things to the next level, but it has to look like this. You are no longer going to settle for less than you truly desire. It could also mean that you're feeling called to explore your own beliefs about relationships. Maybe you're questioning some of the things you were taught growing up. Maybe you're realizing that you don't have to follow the traditional path. You're realizing that you can create your own version of love and commitment. And this is so empowering, because it means you're taking control of your own destiny. You're not letting anyone else tell you what to do. And this is so important with that Tower energy still lingering in the background. Because the Tower broke down all those old structures, all those old beliefs, and now you have the opportunity to rebuild something new, something that is truly aligned with your soul. You can finally break free from those old patterns that have been holding you back. It's like you are no longer living the life someone else planned for you, but are truly designing the life you want to live. Think of it this way, you are rewriting the rules of engagement. You are saying, I'm not going to play this game the way it's always been played. I'm going to create my own game with my own rules. And that's incredibly powerful and sexy because it shows that you're confident, that you're independent, and that you know what you want. The citrine sun energy here is really amplifying this sense of self-discovery and empowerment. It's like you're radiating joy and confidence, and that's attracting the right kind of energy to you. People are drawn to your light, to your authenticity, and that's going to help you manifest the relationship you truly desire. You are a magnet for love and abundance. But let's flip the script. What if it's your person embodying that King of Wands energy? What if they're the ones feeling that passion and drive? Well, if that's the case, the Hierophant could be showing that they are ready to commit to you in a big way. Maybe they're ready to propose. Maybe they're ready to move in together. Maybe they're ready to introduce you to their family. They are ready to show the world that they are with you. It's like they want everyone to know you are theirs, and they are yours. It could also mean that they are finally ready to embrace the traditional aspects of a relationship. Maybe they've been hesitant in the past, but now they're realizing that those traditions can actually be meaningful and fulfilling. They are ready to follow the rules and play the game, because they know that's what it takes to build a lasting relationship with you. And this is huge, especially if they've been commitment phobic in the past. This is a sign of major growth and transformation on their part. But, and this is a big but, the Hierophant could also be showing that they are trying to fit you into their mold. Maybe they have a very specific idea of what a relationship should look like, and they're trying to force you to conform to that ideal. And this is where you need to be careful, because you don't want to sacrifice your own authenticity and happiness just to please them. You don't want to lose yourself in the relationship, but rather maintain your own individuality. If this is the case, it's important to have an honest conversation with them about your needs and desires. You need to tell them that you're not willing to compromise on certain things. You need to stand up for yourself and say, "This is who I am, and this is what I need." The citrine sun energy here is reminding you to stay true to yourself. Don't let anyone dim your light. Don't let anyone make you feel like you have to change in order to be loved. You are perfect just the way you are, and the right person will love you for it. And that is exactly who you want to attract, someone who loves you for you, not who they think you should be. So, whether it's you or your person embodying that King of Wands energy, the Hierophant is showing that there's a real opportunity for growth and commitment here. But it's important to approach this with awareness and intention. Don't just blindly follow the rules. Don't just settle for what's expected. Create your own path and create a relationship that is truly authentic and fulfilling. It's time to break free from the status quo and create something beautiful and new with this person. Okay, so the Tower shook things up, the King of Cups brought emotional balance, the King of Wands sparked passion and purpose, and the Hierophant is now asking you to define your commitment. What does it all mean? Where is this going? What's the next step? Oh, I am so excited to see what the next card reveals. Okay, so deep breath, here we go. The next card is, drum roll please, the Ten of Wands. Oof. Okay, so the Ten of Wands, this isn't always the easiest card to see, you know? Like at first glance, it can feel a little heavy. It's like burden, responsibility, feeling overwhelmed. But, with this citrine sun energy and everything we've already talked about, I think there's a really interesting message here, so let's dive in. So, traditionally, the Ten of Wands is all about carrying a heavy load, right? Like, you're at the end of your rope, you're juggling a million things, and you just feel like you can't take on anything else. It's that feeling of being completely swamped, of having too much on your plate. It can feel like a real drag, you know. Like you're just slogging through life, one task at a time, and you can't even see the finish line. And in the context of a relationship, especially after the Hierophant asking you to define things, this could mean you're feeling burdened by the relationship itself. Like, maybe you're carrying all the emotional weight, or maybe you're the one making all the sacrifices. Or, maybe you both are feeling the pressure of trying to make this relationship work, of trying to fit it into some kind of mold, especially after that Tower moment. And that mold might be exactly what you don't want. The old tradition, that might be the weight on your back. But here's the thing, and this is where the citrine sun comes in. The Ten of Wands isn't always a bad card. It can also be a sign that you're almost at the finish line. Like, you've put in all this work, you've overcome all these obstacles, and you're just one step away from achieving your goal. It's like you're carrying this heavy load, but you're also incredibly close to setting it down and finally relaxing, you know. So maybe, just maybe, this Ten of Wands is showing you that you're almost through this challenging period. You're almost past the chaos of the Tower, almost done with the emotional processing of the King of Cups, almost ready to fully embrace the passion of the King of Wands. And you are about to define things with the Hierophant, and it will be so freeing. You just have to keep going, even when it feels tough. And another thing, and this is so important, sometimes the burdens we carry are self-imposed. Like, we take on too much because we think we have to, or because we're afraid of letting other people down. Maybe you're holding on to responsibilities that you could easily delegate, or maybe you're trying to control every aspect of the relationship because you're afraid of what will happen if you don't. You know what I mean? So, with this Ten of Wands, it's really important to ask yourself, what am I carrying that I don't need to be carrying? What can I let go of? What can I delegate? What can I simplify? And how do I have the courage to finally walk away from the weight? Is it what I truly want in my heart? And this connects back to that citrine sun crystal, because it's all about finding your joy, right? And you can't find your joy if you're weighed down by all these unnecessary burdens. Okay, so let's get back to your divine partnership. Because that's what we're really here to talk about. So, is this Ten of Wands about you, or about your person, or about both of you? That's the million-dollar question, right? Well, if it's about you, it could mean that you're feeling overwhelmed by the expectations of the relationship. Maybe you're feeling like you have to be the perfect partner, the perfect lover, the perfect everything. Or maybe you're feeling like you have to carry the emotional weight for both of you. You're trying to make this work all on your own, and that's exhausting. I mean, who wouldn't feel overwhelmed? It could also mean that you're feeling burdened by your own personal issues. Maybe you're dealing with stress at work, or family problems, or health concerns. And that's making it hard for you to be fully present in the relationship. It is casting a shadow on your love. It's like you're trying to juggle all these different aspects of your life, and you're just feeling stretched too thin. And that's totally understandable, you know? Life can be tough. But if it's about your person, well, that could mean a few different things. Maybe they're feeling overwhelmed by their own responsibilities, and they're not able to give you the attention and support that you need. Maybe they're dealing with stress at work, or family problems, or financial issues, and that's making them distant and unavailable. Or, and this is a big or, maybe they're feeling burdened by the relationship itself. Maybe they're feeling like they have to change who they are in order to be with you. Maybe they're feeling like they have to meet all your expectations. Or maybe they're just not ready for the level of commitment that you're seeking, especially with the question mark hanging over you from the Hierophant. And, you know, that can be a really hard pill to swallow. But here's the thing, and this is where we have to be honest with ourselves. Sometimes people just aren't ready for a serious relationship, and that's not necessarily a reflection on you. It's just that they're at a different stage in their life, or they have different priorities. And it's important to respect that, even if it's painful. You have to know when to walk away. And you have to know you deserve the best. You can't keep carrying that weight if they are not willing to carry it with you. You have to release the old to make way for the new. And this is where the citrine sun comes back in, because it's all about finding your joy, right? And you can't find your joy if you're constantly trying to force someone to be with you who doesn't want to be there. But, let's not jump to conclusions, because it could also be that both of you are feeling overwhelmed. Maybe you're both dealing with a lot of stress in your lives, and that's making it hard for you to connect with each other. Maybe you're both feeling like you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, and that's creating tension and conflict in the relationship. If that's the case, it's really important to communicate with each other, to be honest about how you're feeling. You need to support each other and help each other find ways to cope with the stress. You need to work together as a team. That's the key. You need to be each other's rock, each other's safe space. And you know what? Sometimes the best thing you can do is to take a break from the relationship. To take some time apart to focus on yourselves, to recharge your batteries, to rediscover your joy. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It can actually be a really healthy thing. It can give you both the space you need to grow and to come back to the relationship with fresh energy. It can remind you why you even want to be together. The important thing is to be honest with yourselves and with each other. Don't try to pretend that everything is okay when it's not. Don't sweep your feelings under the rug, because that will only make things worse in the long run. You have to face the challenges head-on to be willing to have those difficult conversations. That's how you build a strong and lasting relationship. So, with this 10 of Wands, I'm really feeling like you need to take a good, hard look at what you're carrying, both in your life and in your relationship. And you need to ask yourself, is this weight worth carrying? Is it serving me? Is it bringing me joy? Or is it just holding me back? And it is important to remember with this crystal energy, if it is not bringing you joy, it is time to let it go. And whatever you decide, just remember to be kind to yourself. Don't beat yourself up if you're feeling overwhelmed or stressed. It's okay to not be perfect. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to take a break. You're only human. The 10 of Wands is really a call to action, a challenge to really examine what you are carrying. If your person is the King of Wands, maybe they are about to feel the weight of this responsibility of commitment. Or you might finally realize you can't carry the weight of someone else's baggage. Ouch. Okay, so the Tower shook things up, the King of Cups brought emotional balance, the King of Wands sparked passion, the Hierophant asked you to define the relationship, and now the 10 of Wands is asking you to examine the burdens you're carrying. Phew, that's a lot to unpack. So what does it all mean? What's the final piece of the puzzle? Oh, I am on the edge of my seat here. Let's see what the next card reveals about this divine partnership. Okay. So the Tower shook things up, the King of Cups brought emotional balance, the King of Wands sparked passion, the Hierophant asked you to define the relationship, and now the 10 of Wands is asking you to examine the burdens you're carrying. Phew, that's a lot to unpack. So what does it all mean? What's the final piece of the puzzle? Oh, I am on the edge of my seat here. Let's see what the next card reveals about this divine partnership. Oh my gosh. Okay, so deep breath, right? Like this could be huge. We have the 2 of Cups. Oh, I love this card. I mean, seriously, after all that intensity, this feels like a breath of fresh air, you know? Like finally some good news. Like, relief. So the 2 of Cups, it's all about partnership, connection, harmony, like that perfect balance between two people. It's like seeing eye to eye, feeling that deep understanding, that mutual respect and affection. It's like the universe saying, yes, this is a connection worth pursuing, you know. It's like you're both putting in the effort, you're both on the same page, and you're creating something beautiful together. It's like a match made in heaven, almost, you know? But, with the cards we've already seen, we have to dig a little deeper, right? It can't be too simple. So, okay, 2 of Cups after the Tower. That makes me think about reconciliation. Like maybe that Tower moment caused a rift, a separation, but now you're finding your way back to each other. You're rebuilding that connection, stronger than before, because you've both learned from the experience, you know? It's like you've both gone through this crazy storm, and now you're emerging, hand in hand, ready to face the future together. The Tower had to happen to clear the way. It really did. Or, okay, another possibility. Maybe the Tower wasn't a breakup, but more like an internal shift, right? A change in perspective. And now, with the 2 of Cups, you're seeing your partner in a whole new light. You're appreciating them on a deeper level, and you're connecting in a way you never have before. It's like you're finally seeing their true essence, and they're seeing yours. And that's creating this incredible bond, this unbreakable connection. Because let's face it, the Tower can change everything. And then we have the King of Cups and the King of Wands. Oh, I love these cards. They're like the perfect complement to the 2 of Cups. The King of Cups brings emotional maturity and understanding, while the King of Wands brings passion and excitement. So, together, they create this dynamic, balanced energy that's so essential for a healthy relationship, right? It's like you're not just connecting on an emotional level, you're also connecting on a physical and spiritual level. It's like you're firing on all cylinders, baby. And with the Hierophant, the 2 of Cups says you're both agreeing on the terms of this relationship. But then we have the 10 of Wands. Oof, that complicates things, doesn't it? Because the Ten of Wands is all about feeling burdened and overwhelmed. So, how does that fit in with the Two of Cups, which is all about harmony and balance? Well, maybe it's showing you that you're trying too hard to maintain this perfect image of partnership. You're putting on a show for the world, pretending that everything is perfect, when really you're both struggling underneath the surface. It could be that you're trying so hard to create this ideal relationship that you're actually suffocating each other, you know. You are taking on too much of the weight of the world. It's like you're so afraid of conflict or disagreement that you're suppressing your true feelings. And that's not healthy. That can really break down a relationship over time. Or, okay, another possibility. Maybe the Ten of Wands is showing you that you're carrying the weight of past relationships into this one. You're bringing all your old baggage, all your old wounds, and that's making it hard for you to fully connect with your partner. You're so afraid of getting hurt again that you're putting up walls, you're holding back, and you're not allowing yourself to be vulnerable. And the baggage might be something you aren't even aware of. Subconsciously, you are protecting yourself. And that can be a real challenge, right? Because vulnerability is so essential for intimacy. You can't truly connect with someone unless you're willing to open up and share your deepest fears and desires. But okay, let's not be all doom and gloom, right? Because the citrine sun is all about joy. So maybe, just maybe, the Two of Cups is a sign that you're learning how to navigate those challenges together. You're learning how to communicate openly and honestly, even when it's hard. You're learning how to support each other through the tough times and how to celebrate the good times. And maybe, just maybe, the Ten of Wands is a reminder that you can't do it all alone. You need to rely on each other, to lean on each other, and to share the burden. If you are the King of Wands, you can't burn the candle at both ends. You need to accept the love and support you are being offered. So, okay, who does this Two of Cups represent? Is it you? Is it your person? Is it both of you? Well, if it's you, it could mean that you're finally ready to open your heart to love. You're letting go of your fears, you're embracing vulnerability, and you're attracting the right kind of partner into your life. You're radiating that citrine sun energy, that joy and confidence, and that's drawing people to you like a magnet. And if it's your person, well, that's a great sign too. It could mean that they're finally ready to commit to the relationship, to put in the effort, and to create something lasting with you. They're seeing your worth, they're appreciating your value, and they're ready to build a future together. But, and this is a big but, if it's only one of you, then that could be a problem. Because a true partnership requires both people to be on the same page, to be equally invested, and to be equally willing to put in the work. If one person is doing all the giving and the other person is doing all the taking, then that's not a balanced relationship, and it's not going to last. It's going to end up with that Ten of Wands energy, feeling burdened and resentful. So, it's really important to have an honest conversation with your person, to see if you're both truly aligned, and to see if you're both truly ready to create a partnership based on mutual respect, understanding, and love. I feel like the key message here is that true connection requires authenticity. It's not about putting on a show, it's not about pretending to be someone you're not, and it's not about suppressing your true feelings. It's about being real, being vulnerable, and being willing to show your true self to your partner, flaws and all. And if your partner can't accept you for who you are, then they're not the right person for you. You deserve someone who loves you unconditionally, who supports you through thick and thin, and who celebrates your unique qualities. Okay, so the Tower shook things up, the King of Cups brought emotional balance, the King of Wands sparked passion, the Hierophant asked you to define the relationship, the Ten of Wands asked you to examine your burdens, and now the Two of Cups is showing you the potential for partnership, but also the importance of authenticity. Wow, what a journey. So, where does that leave you? What's the next step? What's the final message that the universe wants you to hear? Oh, I am so excited to see what the next card reveals. I can feel it. It's going to be a game changer. This is so exciting. Oh my goodness. Okay, are you ready for this? Because this next card. This is a big one. We have Judgment. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Judgment. This card is like wake-up call, you know? It's like the universe is blasting a trumpet right in your ear and saying, it's time. Time to rise and shine. Time to answer the call. It is a time for rebirth. So, judgment is all about, awakening, revelation, and, major transformation. It's about seeing things with crystal clarity and finally understanding your purpose. It's like all of a sudden the scales fall from your eyes and you see the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, And it's not always easy to hear, but it's always necessary. So, connecting this back to the tower. Oh my gosh, this is huge, because the tower is all about destruction and chaos, right? It's about things falling apart. But judgment is like the phoenix rising from the ashes. It's like, after everything has been broken down, you have the opportunity to rebuild something new, something stronger, something more authentic. It is a complete reset. It's like the tower cleared the way, and now judgment is saying, okay, now it's time to step into your true power. It's time to embrace your destiny. This is why that tower moment was so important. This is all about you releasing the old and embracing the new. It's about forgiving yourself and others for past mistakes and moving forward with a clean slate. It's like you're shedding your old skin and emerging as a brand new version of yourself. And you know what? That can be scary, but it's also incredibly exciting. Like, you're finally free to be who you were always meant to be. You are rising above the ashes. And then we have the King of Cups and the King of Wands. Oh, this is such a powerful combination. The King of Cups is all about emotional maturity and compassion, and the King of Wands is all about passion and action. So, with judgment in the mix, it's like you're being called to awaken both your emotional and your passionate sides. It's about understanding your feelings on a deeper level and using that understanding to fuel your actions. It's about stepping into your power in a way that is both compassionate and confident. It's like you're finally learning how to balance your head and your heart, and that's making you unstoppable. It's like you are truly unlocking your divine potential. And maybe you are about to really awaken your person too. Now, let's talk about the Hierophant. Because this is where things get really interesting. The Hierophant is all about tradition and institutions, right? But judgment is about breaking free from those limitations and embracing your own truth. So, it's like you're being called to question the beliefs and values that you've been taught and to decide for yourself what you truly believe. You might be questioning everything. It's like you're realizing that you don't have to follow the rules just because they're the rules. You're free to create your own path, to define your own values, and to live your life on your own terms. You might be making some unconventional choices. And you know what? That's okay, because you're finally living in alignment with your soul. And you are the only one who can decide what is right for you. And then we have the Ten of Wands. Oh, this card can feel so heavy, but with judgment in the mix, it's like you're being called to release those burdens. It's time to let go of the responsibilities that are weighing you down and to forgive yourself for the mistakes you've made. It's about realizing that you don't have to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. You're worthy of love, you're worthy of happiness, and you're worthy of freedom. And you need to release what is not longer serving you. This could be the karmic cycle ending. It's time to forgive yourself for the past and release any guilt or shame that you're holding onto. It's time to realize that you've learned your lessons and you're ready to move on. And you are about to ascend into the new and improved version of you. And finally, the Two of Cups. Oh, this is such a beautiful card. It's all about partnership and connection. So, with judgment in the mix, it's like you're being called to create a relationship that is based on authenticity, honesty, and mutual respect. It's about seeing your partner for who they truly are, flaws and all, and loving them unconditionally. But if you're not feeling that, then you need to walk away. It's about creating a connection that is aligned with your soul, a partnership that is built on trust and understanding. This is an opportunity to step into a relationship that is truly fulfilling and meaningful. It's like you are meant to create a relationship that is a reflection of your true selves, a partnership that supports your growth and evolution. And of course, we have the citrine sun crystal. This crystal is all about joy and centering, and it's a reminder that even in the midst of chaos and transformation, you can always find your way back to your center. It's about finding joy in the journey, even when it's challenging. It's about remembering that you are worthy of love and happiness, and that you have the power to create a life that is filled with abundance and joy. The warming energy of the sun is with you, So, what does all this mean for you and your divine partnership? Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Are you ready to embrace your true calling? Are you ready to release the burdens that are weighing you down? Are you ready to create a relationship that is based on authenticity and mutual respect? Are you ready to step into your power and live your life on your own terms? This could be a huge turning point, and you need to stay centered in yourself and your truth. This is a crossroads. This is a major life change. It's like you're being called to make a decision, a choice that will have a profound impact on your life. And you know what? You have the power to choose wisely. You are on the verge of something truly amazing, and that choice is about to become so much clearer. This is an opportunity to create a life that is aligned with your soul, a life that is filled with love, joy, and purpose. So, trust your intuition, follow your heart, and know that you are exactly where you need to be. And I am so excited to see what happens next. Okay, so, with all of that said, I'm gonna go ahead and finish your reading off with some guidance for you. To start, we have the High Priestess. This card shows you already have the answers within. It means you should trust your intuition and gut feelings above all else. Yeah, like that's definitely what I'm saying here, like with the fact that you know what is best for you. I also think that this is really reminding me of what a wonderful, intuitive person you are. You have such a strong sense of self, and it is time you start trusting yourself to be in tune with that process and get yourself where you need to be. It really feels like you are more than prepared for this awakening, and this card just confirms that. You know what you have to do. But we also have the combination of the King of Wands with the High Priestess. The King of Wands likes to move quickly and with confidence, so it is important that you stay true to yourself and only make choices that feel right to you. Key phrases to keep in mind as this change washes over your person are, does this truly feel right to me? And, is this in alignment with who I am? This High Priestess card will really help you embrace your power. You know you are making choices that align with your highest self. And when that person is you, it will feel so empowering. But when that person is your partner, it can be frustrating. It is important to know how you feel in your gut and make sure they are doing what's best for the both of you. Communicate your needs, but also be understanding and supportive of their journey. Trust your gut. Follow your path. You know what to do. You're ready for it. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. You got this. Okay, so, like, basically, what I'm seeing here is that you're at a major turning point, right? All the stuff that's happened, all the challenges you've faced, it's all been leading you to this moment. The universe is basically saying, okay, it's time to step into your power. It's time to create the life you've always dreamed of. It's kind of intimidating, right? But it's also super exciting. So the big question is, what do you do with all this? Well, first of all, you need to release those burdens, right? That Ten of Wands energy, it's time to let it go. Think about what's weighing you down, what's making you feel overwhelmed, and then find ways to simplify your life. Delegate tasks, say no to things you don't want to do, and forgive yourself for past mistakes. You are a brand new, shiny person. I feel like something that would help you do this is to write it all down and burn it, like literally. If that is too much, you could also bury it in a plant, really focusing your energy on the release. And then, you need to embrace your authenticity. Stop trying to be someone you're not and start being true to yourself. Be honest about your feelings, express your needs, and don't be afraid to be vulnerable. The right people will love you for who you are, not for who they think you should be. I think that is really coming through in this reading. Just make sure to take care of yourself too. Now, let's talk about your divine partnership, because that's what you really want to know, right? Well, the Two of Cups is showing you that there's potential for a really amazing connection, but it has to be based on authenticity and mutual respect. So, if you're feeling like you're the only one putting in the effort, or if you're feeling like you have to sacrifice your own happiness to make the relationship work, then it's time to reevaluate things. You are already on the right path. But if you're both willing to be honest, vulnerable, and supportive of each other, then you can create a partnership that is truly fulfilling and meaningful. This High Priestess energy is the perfect guide for that. It can lead the way to a whole new level of understanding and intimacy. Don't let it go to waste. Now, I know this can all sound a little overwhelming, right? But trust me, you've got this. The citrine sun crystal is here to remind you to find joy in the journey, to center yourself, and to trust your intuition. You have the power to create the life you want, and you have the love and support of the universe to help you along the way. Okay, so let's break this down a little further, depending on whether you or your person is embodying that King of Wands energy, because I think that's really key here. If you're feeling that passion and drive, then this is your time to shine. You're ready to take action, to pursue your dreams, and to create a life that is aligned with your soul. Don't let anyone hold you back. Trust your intuition, follow your heart, and know that you are capable of anything you set your mind to. If you have all the answers within, now is the time to listen. But if your person is embodying that King of Wands energy, then it's time to have an honest conversation with them. Are they ready to commit? Are they willing to be authentic and vulnerable? Are they on the same page as you? If not, then it's time to walk away. This is your green light. So, how can you actually release those burdens and create a more authentic and joyful life? Well, here are a few practical tips. First, practice self-care. Take time for yourself every day to do something that makes you happy. Read a book, take a bath, go for a walk, meditate, whatever it is that fills your cup. You have all the secrets and knowledge within, make sure you make time to connect with yourself. Second, set boundaries. Say no to things you don't want to do, and don't be afraid to disappoint people. Your time and energy are precious, so protect them. Third, communicate your needs. Be honest with your partner, your friends, and your family about what you need in order to feel supported and loved. You have to speak up, your intuition will not do the speaking for you. Fourth, forgive yourself. Everyone makes mistakes, so don't beat yourself up about the past. Learn from your experiences and move on. Fifth, celebrate your successes. Acknowledge your accomplishments, big and small, and give yourself credit for all the hard work you've done. You deserve it. Sixth, surround yourself with positive people. Spend time with people who lift you up, who support your dreams, and who make you feel good about yourself. Seventh, find your passion. What are you truly passionate about? What makes your heart sing? Pursue those things, even if it's just a hobby. And finally, trust your intuition. You have all the answers within you, so listen to your inner voice and follow its guidance. I think you are ready to live the life of your dreams. If it has not been made clear by now, you really have to do it. If there are choices to be made and steps to be taken. So trust your gut, it will lead you down the correct path. You know this. This is not something new. It is in alignment with who you are, and it is time to step into that truth. So, to really bring it all home, I want to leave you with a powerful affirmation that you can repeat to yourself every day. I am worthy of love, happiness, and success. I am capable of anything I set my mind to. I am strong, confident, and authentic. I am grateful for all the blessings in my life. I trust my intuition and follow my heart. I am creating a life that is filled with joy, purpose, and abundance. And I am so ready for it. I am so excited to see what the future holds for you. I know you're going to do amazing things. You really are. Okay, well, that's it for your reading. I really hope this has helped you gain some clarity and guidance on your journey. Remember, you are not alone, you are loved, and you are capable of anything you set your mind to. Go out there and shine. All right, hey there, Malachite Pyramid people. Thank you so much for being here. You chose this beautiful stone that really speaks to nurturing and growth, which is just so perfect for what we're about to dive into. With the Emerald Sanctuary theme, this reading is all about growth, healing, and really building shared foundations. So let's see what the cards have to say, because wow, okay, these are intense. So, pulling these cards together, we have the Devil, the Queen of Wands, and the Wheel of Fortune all at once. Which, like, okay, deep breath, this is huge energy. It feels like we're about to uncover some hidden chains, maybe some things that are holding you back, but then see you absolutely step into your power, like radiate confidence and just, take charge. And then, bam, the Wheel of Fortune shows up, which tells me everything is about to change, like major life shifts are on the horizon, possibly karmic, definitely destiny-driven. This is like a whole new chapter unfolding, I can feel it. I'm so excited for you. Okay, let's really dive in and start with the Devil, okay? Now, don't freak out when you see this card. I know a lot of people have, a visceral reaction to the Devil card, but it's not about some, evil force lurking in your life. I promise you it's not. It's more about recognizing those patterns, those habits, maybe even those relationships that are kind of like keeping you stuck, Like those things that feel really hard to break free from. It's that feeling of being trapped or controlled by something, and it's often something internal, With the Malachite energy here, I'm really seeing that this is about nurturing yourself enough to recognize these unhealthy attachments. Malachite is all about growth and transformation, right? So, it's like, this card is showing you what needs to be transformed. Maybe it's a fear of commitment, maybe it's an addiction to drama, maybe it's just like constantly self-sabotaging your own success, It could even be a relationship that feels really intense and passionate, but is actually just kind of toxic and draining your energy, you know what I mean? The Devil card can be very passionate, but sometimes it's unhealthy passion. The key here is to really, really be honest with yourself, okay? What are you clinging to that's actually holding you back from your full potential? What are the chains that you've, unconsciously allowed to bind you? And sometimes these chains are comfortable, right? It's familiar, it's what you know, even if it's not good for you. But the Emerald Sanctuary theme, it's calling you to create a safe space for yourself, a space where you can heal and grow, and you can't do that if you're still chained to these old patterns. So, really ask yourself, what am I afraid of letting go of? What am I getting out of this situation, even if it's negative? Because, sometimes we hold on to these things because they serve some kind of purpose, even if it's just, a sense of familiarity or control, But the universe is saying, it's time to break free. It's time to step into your power. You deserve better than to be chained to these limitations. You deserve to thrive in your own Emerald Sanctuary, totally free from these constraints, And it's interesting that this card is coming up first, because it's you need to address these issues before you can fully embrace the energy of the Queen of Wands. It's you can't really step into your power until you've dealt with these underlying patterns that are holding you back, You've got to release those old shadows in order to really shine. You have to release those fears. Fears can be so binding. So, yeah, that's what I'm seeing with the Devil. It's about recognizing those limitations, those unhealthy attachments, and really starting to break free, okay? Really starting to break free. You can do it. I know you can. Now, let's move on to the Queen of Wands. Oh, I love this card. It's all about confidence, passion, and just radiating your inner light, This is you stepping into your power, fully owning who you are, embracing your creativity, and just inspiring everyone around you with your energy and your enthusiasm. It's after breaking free from those chains of the Devil, you're finally able to stand tall and say, yeah, this is me, and I'm amazing, With the Malachite energy, I'm seeing this as nurturing your inner fire, Malachite is all about growth, right? And the Queen of Wands is all about growing into your full potential, blossoming into the amazing person you're meant to be. It's you're finally giving yourself permission to shine, to be seen, to be heard, and to really make a difference in the world. You are allowing yourself to be confident. You are allowing yourself to want more. You are allowing yourself to be happy. And the Emerald Sanctuary theme, it's all about creating a space where you can feel safe and supported, right? And the Queen of Wands, she creates that sanctuary within herself. She's confident, she's passionate, she knows what she wants, and she's not afraid to go after it. It's you're building your own inner sanctuary, a place where you can always feel empowered and inspired, no matter what's going on around you. This card is also about taking action, okay? It's not just about feeling confident, it's about actually doing something with that confidence, It's about pursuing your passions, setting goals, and taking steps to make your dreams a reality. The Queen of Wands, she's a doer, she's a leader, and she's not afraid to take risks. Maybe you've been wanting to start a new project, or maybe you've been wanting to speak your truth more openly, or maybe you've just been wanting to, step outside of your comfort zone and try something new, This card is saying, go for it. Now is the time. You have the energy, you have the passion, and you have the confidence to make it happen. And remember, the Queen of Wands is also about inspiring others, okay? Your energy is contagious, and you have the ability to lift up the people around you and encourage them to pursue their own dreams. It's like you're not just creating a sanctuary for yourself, you're creating a sanctuary for everyone around you, a space where everyone feels empowered to be their authentic selves and pursue their passions. I love that. I really, really do. So embrace your inner Queen of Wands, okay? Let your light shine, pursue your passions, and inspire the world with your energy and your enthusiasm. You are amazing, you are powerful, and you are capable of anything you set your mind to. I really feel that. I really, really do. Wow, and now the Wheel of Fortune, oh my gosh. This is like the grand finale, the plot twist, the like everything is about to change card, you know? It's all about destiny, karma, and the cyclical nature of life. It's like after breaking free from those chains and stepping into your power, the universe is like, okay, get ready, because things are about to get interesting. You know, it's so exciting, I can't stand it. With the Malachite energy, I'm seeing this as like trusting the process of growth and transformation, you know. Malachite is all about embracing change, even when it's uncomfortable, and the Wheel of Fortune is all about change. It's literally a wheel turning, right? It's like you're learning to surrender to the flow of life, trusting that everything is happening for a reason, even if you can't see it right now. It's like you are ready to grow, you are ready to be better, you are ready to embrace all the changes life has to offer, whether you invited them or not. And the Emerald Sanctuary theme, it's all about creating a stable foundation for yourself, right? But the Wheel of Fortune is saying, like, even the most stable foundations can be shaken, you know. It's like you need to be adaptable, you need to be flexible, and you need to be able to roll with the punches, because life is full of ups and downs, and the Wheel of Fortune is always turning. You might be at the top for a while, but eventually you're going to come back down, and vice versa. This card is also about karma, okay. Like what you put out into the universe, you're going to get back, eventually. So, if you've been putting out positive energy, if you've been working towards your goals, if you've been treating people with kindness and respect, then you can expect good things to come your way. But if you've been putting out negative energy, if you've been slacking off, if you've been treating people poorly, then you might face some challenges, you know? It's like the universe is always keeping score, and the Wheel of Fortune is just a reminder that your actions have consequences. So you should always be aware of how you are acting and who you are being to others. But ultimately, the Wheel of Fortune is a positive card, okay? It's a sign that things are changing, that things are moving, and that you're on the right path. Even if you don't know where you're going, trust that the universe has a plan for you, and that everything is going to work out in the end. I really, really believe it. Maybe you're about to receive some unexpected good news, or maybe you're about to meet someone who's going to change your life, or maybe you're about to stumble upon a new opportunity that you never even saw coming, you know? The possibilities are endless. You are worthy and you are capable of so much. The Wheel of Fortune is saying, get ready to embrace these new possibilities, okay? So buckle up, Malachite Pyramid people, because the Wheel of Fortune is turning and things are about to get really interesting. Trust the process, embrace the change, and know that you are exactly where you need to be. And with the Queen of Wands energy, you'll definitely be able to embrace this change with so much energy and poise. I'm so excited to see what happens next for you. Okay, wow, what a reading so far. The Devil, the Queen of Wands, and the Wheel of Fortune, it's like a recipe for major transformation, isn't it? So basically, these cards are saying you are breaking free from old patterns, stepping into your power, and like watching destiny unfold. I am getting chills just thinking about it. But we aren't done just yet. Because we have so many other cards to dive into. I just know that these cards are going to add even more clarity. And now we have the Strength card. Oh my gosh, this is so good. Okay, so after all of that, after the Devil, the Queen of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, we get the Strength card, which is like perfect, you know? It's like you've faced your demons, you've embraced your power, and now you need to like harness that inner strength to navigate all this change that's coming your way, you know. First impression, I'm like, wow, this card is so gentle, but so powerful at the same time, you know? Like, it's not about brute force, it's about inner resilience, it's about compassion, it's about, like, that quiet confidence that comes from knowing you can handle anything life throws at you. It's about, like, having the courage to be vulnerable and to show up as your authentic self, even when it's scary, So, wow. And with the Emerald Sanctuary theme, it's all about creating that safe space within yourself, right? And the Strength card is you are the sanctuary, You have everything you need inside of you to overcome any obstacle and to create the life you want. It's like you're building this, impenetrable fortress of inner strength, a place where you can always find peace and resilience no matter what's going on around you. I just feel like that's so important. And with the Malachite energy, I'm seeing this as nurturing your inner lion, Malachite is all about growth and transformation, and the Strength card is all about transforming your fears and your insecurities into courage and compassion. It's like you're learning to tame that wild beast within you, not by suppressing it, but by understanding it and by working with it, It's about finding that balance between your raw power and your gentle spirit. So great. So, how does this all connect back to the devil? Well, remember how the devil was all about those chains, those limitations, those unhealthy attachments. Well, the Strength card is about breaking those chains, but not through force, but through understanding and compassion, It's about recognizing those patterns that are holding you back and then gently, but firmly, releasing them. It's like you're not fighting your inner demons, you're befriending them, you're understanding where they come from, and you're learning to heal them, Because, those inner demons, they're just parts of you that are hurting, parts of you that need love and attention, and the Strength card is all about giving yourself that love and attention, The Strength card helps you to realize that you have it within you to nurture yourself. And then with the Queen of Wands, okay, this is where it gets really interesting, because the Queen of Wands is all about radiating that fiery energy, that confidence, that passion, right? But the Strength card is hold on a second, let's temper that fire with some compassion and some understanding, It's not just about charging ahead without thinking, it's about using your power wisely. It's about being mindful of the impact you're having on others, and it's about leading with your heart, not just your ego, The Queen of Wands has so much energy, and it really helps to have the Strength card to guide that energy, It's the Queen of Wands is the outward expression of your power, and the Strength card is the inner foundation that supports that power, You can't really be a true Queen of Wands without that inner strength, without that compassion, without that ability to, control your impulses and to act with integrity, It's all about using your power for good, not for harm, and the Strength card is there to help you do just that. It's like you are really, really, really becoming the best version of yourself. And then, of course, we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is all about change, right? And the Strength card is okay, buckle up, because this change might be a little bumpy, but you have the inner strength to handle it, It's about staying grounded amidst the chaos. It's about trusting that everything is happening for a reason, even when it doesn't make sense. And it's about knowing that you can weather any storm as long as you stay true to yourself, The Wheel of Fortune is always turning, right? And sometimes you're on top, and sometimes you're on the bottom, but the Strength card is it doesn't matter where you are on the wheel, as long as you have that inner strength, you can handle anything, It's about finding that inner peace, that inner stability, that inner resilience that allows you to navigate the ups and downs of life with grace and courage. So much grace. So much courage. So, what does this all mean for you in practical terms? Well, it means that you need to start paying attention to your inner voice, You need to start listening to your intuition, you need to start trusting yourself, and you need to start believing in your own power. It means that you need to be kind to yourself, you need to be patient with yourself, and you need to forgive yourself for your mistakes, because everyone makes mistakes, right? It means that you need to set healthy boundaries, you need to say no when you need to say no, and you need to protect your energy from draining people and situations. It means that you need to find healthy ways to manage your stress, whether that's through exercise, meditation, spending time in nature, or just talking to a trusted friend or therapist, It means that you need to nurture your inner child, you need to do things that bring you joy, and you need to remember to laugh, even when things are tough. It means that you need to be compassionate, not just to yourself, but also to others. You need to treat everyone with kindness and respect, even when they don't deserve it. And you need to remember that everyone is fighting their own battles, you know. It means that you need to be courageous. You need to step outside of your comfort zone. You need to take risks. And you need to pursue your dreams, even when it's scary, you know. It means that you need to be authentic. You need to be yourself. You need to embrace your imperfections. And you need to stop trying to be someone you're not, you know. Because you are perfect just the way you are, and you have so much to offer the world. So, yeah, the Strength card is all about harnessing that inner power with grace and compassion. It's about navigating change with courage and resilience, and it's about creating that emerald sanctuary within yourself, a place where you can always find peace and strength, no matter what's going on around you. I just know that you will be able to really show yourself so much love and compassion with this card. And it's interesting that this card is coming up now, because it's like the universe is giving you a pep talk, you know? It's saying, hey, you've got this. You've overcome so much already, and you have everything you need to handle whatever's coming your way. Just remember to be kind to yourself, to be patient with yourself, and to trust in your own strength. It's so wonderful. I am really feeling the power of this reading right now, you know. It's like you're on the verge of something big, something amazing, something that's going to change your life forever. And the Strength card is here to remind you that you are ready, you are capable, and you are worthy of all the good things that are coming your way. And you are so deserving of it all. So you need to remember this when those changes really start happening. I'm so excited for you. Okay, so we have 2 more cards to go, and I have no idea what they're going to be, but I just know that they're going to add even more clarity and insight to this already incredible reading, you know? I'm on the edge of my seat. What's next? What's next? Okay, so, oh my gosh, you are not going to believe this, but we just pulled the Lovers, like, seriously. After all that intensity, after the Devil and the Queen of Wands and the Wheel and that amazing Strength card, like, wow, the Lovers show up. So good, right? So good. This is such an interesting placement, like, given everything, it's like, what does this mean for you right now in this moment? Like, take a deep breath because this is big. This is really big. Like, okay, first of all, the Lovers is all about choices, right? It's about partnerships, it's about harmony, it's about aligning yourself with what truly resonates with your soul, but it's about so much more too, you know? But it's not just about romantic love, okay? Like, that's such a common misconception. It can be about any kind of union, any kind of connection, any kind of major decision that you're making that's going to impact your life in a really profound way. MMHMM, yeah. And it's coming right after the Strength card, which is so significant because it's like, you have all this inner power, you have all this compassion, you have all this resilience, and now you're being asked to use it to make a really important choice, you know. Like the universe is testing you. It's saying, okay, you've done the work, you've faced your demons, you've stepped into your power, now what are you going to do with it? Who are you going to share it with? What path are you going to choose? It's all about your value system too. It's all just so important to consider. It's like this isn't just about making a decision, it's about making a decision that's aligned with your highest self, you know? It's about choosing the path that's going to lead you to the most growth, the most joy, the most fulfillment, and it's about choosing the partnerships that you want to continue to nurture and grow. And that's not always easy, right? Because sometimes the path that's aligned with your soul is the one that's the scariest, the one that's the most challenging, the one that requires you to step outside of your comfort zone and take a leap of faith, but it's also the one that's the most rewarding in the end, you know? Okay, so let's connect this back to the Devil, because it's all connected, right? Remember how the Devil was all about those unhealthy attachments, those limitations, those patterns that are holding you back. Well, the Lovers is like, okay, now you have a choice. You can either stay chained to those old patterns, or you can break free and choose a different path, you know. It's like you can either continue to be controlled by your fears and your insecurities, or you can embrace your power and your freedom and create a life that's truly aligned with your values. You are capable and able to choose the freedom. Like, this could be about a relationship that's been feeling kind of like toxic or draining, you know. The Lovers is saying, okay, you have a choice. You can either stay in this relationship and continue to be miserable, or you can choose to leave and create space for something better to come into your life. But it could also be about a job, or a career path, or a living situation, or anything that's been feeling kind of like restrictive or unfulfilling, you know. The Lovers is saying, okay, you have a choice. You can either stay stuck in this situation and continue to feel trapped, or you can choose to make a change and create a life that's more aligned with your passions and your purpose. And then with the Queen of Wands, oh my gosh, this is where it gets really exciting, because the Queen of Wands is all about confidence, passion, and radiating your inner light, right? Well, the Lovers is like, okay, now you have a chance to share that light with someone else, to create a partnership that's based on mutual respect, admiration, and support, you know. It's like you've been working on building your own inner sanctuary, and now you're ready to open it up and invite someone else in, someone who's going to appreciate your light, someone who's going to support your dreams, and someone who's going to challenge you to grow even more, you know. But it's not just about finding a romantic partner, okay. It could also be about forming a business partnership, or collaborating on a creative project, or joining a community of like-minded people, or anything that's going to allow you to share your gifts and your talents with the world in a meaningful way, and that you are inspired by, and that you feel connected to. It's like the Queen of Wands is the individual, and the Lovers is the connection between individuals, and together they create something even more powerful and beautiful than either of them could create alone, you know? It is all about harmony and balance. And then, of course, we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is all about change, right? And the Lovers is like, okay, this change might be bringing a new relationship, or it might be bringing a deeper connection to an existing relationship, or it might be bringing a new understanding of what you truly value in a partnership, you know. It's like the universe is shaking things up. It's throwing you curveballs, it's challenging you to step outside of your comfort zone, and the Lovers is here to help you navigate all that change with grace and with courage, but only if you make the right choices, you know. It's about trusting that everything is happening for a reason, even when it doesn't make sense, and it's about knowing that you have the power to create your own destiny, even in the midst of chaos. And if you don't feel like you have the power, the Strength card is there to remind you that you absolutely do. You always, always, always have the power to choose, and the choices that you make right now are going to have a huge impact on your future, so you need to choose wisely, okay? Now, let's bring in the Malachite Pyramid and the Emerald Sanctuary theme, because this is where it gets really interesting, you know. Malachite is all about growth, healing, and transformation, and the Emerald Sanctuary is all about creating a safe and nurturing space for yourself, right? So, the Lovers in this context is about choosing partnerships that support your growth, that help you heal, and that allow you to transform into the best version of yourself, you know. It's about creating relationships that are based on honesty, trust, and mutual respect, relationships that feel like a safe haven, a place where you can be vulnerable, a place where you can be yourself, a place where you can grow and thrive, and where you feel nurtured and loved, you know. It's about choosing relationships that align with your values, that support your dreams, and that inspire you to be a better person. And you are going to have to be so honest with yourself to figure out which relationships those are. Like, maybe you're realizing that some of the relationships in your life are actually hindering your growth, that they're based on unhealthy patterns, that they're draining your energy, you know. The Lovers is saying, okay, it's time to make a choice. You can either continue to invest in these relationships and stay stuck in these patterns, or you can choose to distance yourself and create space for healthier relationships to come into your life. But it's not just about cutting people out of your life, okay? It's also about setting boundaries. It's about communicating your needs. It's about being honest about how you're feeling. And it's about creating a dynamic where everyone feels respected, valued, and heard, you know. It's about building relationships that are based on mutual growth and mutual support. Relationships that are constantly evolving and transforming as you both grow and change. And sometimes that means having difficult conversations. It means being willing to compromise. And it means being willing to let go of your ego. But it's always worth it in the end. Because the relationships that are truly aligned with your soul are the ones that are going to bring you the most joy, the most fulfillment, and the most love, you know. So, what does this all mean for you in practical terms? Well, it means that you need to start paying attention to the relationships in your life, okay? You need to start evaluating them. You need to start asking yourself, are these relationships supporting my growth? Are they helping me heal? Are they allowing me to transform into the best version of myself? And if the answer is no, then you need to start making some changes, okay? But it's not just about making changes in your external relationships. It's also about making changes in your relationship with yourself, okay? You need to start loving yourself. You need to start accepting yourself. You need to start forgiving yourself. And you need to start treating yourself with the same kindness and compassion that you would treat a loved one, you know. Because the most important relationship you'll ever have is the relationship with yourself. And if that relationship isn't healthy, then none of your other relationships are going to be healthy either, you know. You have to nurture your relationship with yourself, and you need to be intentional about building a connection to yourself. This is key. So, yeah, The Lovers is all about choices. It's about partnerships. It's about harmony. It's about aligning yourself with what truly resonates with your soul. And it's about creating relationships that support your growth, that help you heal, and that allow you to transform into the best version of yourself. And the Strength card is there to remind you that you have the power to make those choices. You have the compassion to navigate those relationships, and you have the resilience to weather any storm that comes your way. This is just so powerful. I'm like getting chills again. It's like you're on the verge of something big, something transformative, something that's going to change your life forever, and The Lovers is here to guide you, to help you make the right choices, and to help you create relationships that are truly aligned with your soul, and to find those relationships where you are supported, heard, and loved. But we still have one more card to go, and I have no idea what it's going to be, but I just know that it's going to add even more clarity and insight to this already incredible reading, you know? I am so excited to see what happens next for you. Okay, you are not going to believe this. After The Lovers, like, oh my gosh, we pull the Two of Cups. Like, are you kidding me right now? This is, like, insane. It's like the universe is just screaming, relationships, partnerships, connection. Like, wow, I'm, like, actually getting goosebumps. This is so good. Okay, so the Two of Cups in general is all about, like, union, right? It's about partnership. It's about that, like, deep connection with another person. It's about, like, finding that soulmate, that kindred spirit, that person who just, like, gets you, you know? But it's not always romantic, okay? Like, it can be a really close friendship. It can be a business partnership. It can be, like, any kind of relationship where you feel that, like, mutual respect, that mutual admiration, that, like, genuine connection. And it's not even just about, like, other people. It can be about, like, a connection to yourself, like, finally accepting yourself and loving yourself for who you are, like, that inner union, you know? It's all about finding that harmony and balance. It's about finding that perfect blend of, like, give and take. It's about, like, seeing yourself reflected in another person and, like, realizing that you're not alone, you know? It's about the power that comes with, like, shared vulnerability and, like, genuine understanding, you know? Like, it's one of those cards where you just feel all warm and fuzzy inside, you know? But, like, don't get me wrong, it's not all rainbows and unicorns, okay? Because every card has its shadow side, right? And with the Two of Cups, like, the shadow side can be, like, codependency, you know? It can be, like, losing yourself in the other person. It can be, like, sacrificing your own needs and desires for the sake of the relationship. It can be, like, becoming so enmeshed with the other person that you can't even function without them, you know? It can also be about, like, idealizing the other person, like, putting them on a pedestal and not seeing them for who they really are, like, ignoring their flaws and their imperfections, you know? It's like, you have to be careful not to, like, lose yourself in the sauce, you know what I mean? Because relationships are all about balance, and if you're not careful, you can end up, like, giving too much or taking too much, and that's never a good thing, you know? You have to set some boundaries and respect each other's boundaries. So, like, how does this all connect back to the other cards, right? Well, let's start with the Devil. Remember how the devil was all about those unhealthy attachments and those, like, limiting beliefs? Well, the Two of Cups is like, okay, now you have a chance to create healthy attachments. You have a chance to build relationships that are based on mutual respect and understanding. You have a chance to break free from those old patterns and create something new and beautiful. But you have to be careful not to fall back into those old traps, you know. You have to be aware of your own tendencies towards codependency or control or whatever. And you have to be willing to work on those things in order to create a healthy relationship. You know, this card is really about choosing what freedom looks like to you. And then with the Queen of Wands, oh my gosh, this is like so amazing because the Queen of Wands is all about like radiating that confidence and that passion and that inner fire, right? Well, the Two of Cups is like, okay, now you have a chance to share that fire with someone else. You have a chance to create a relationship that's full of excitement and passion and adventure. But you have to be careful not to let your ego get in the way, you know. You have to be willing to compromise. You have to be willing to listen to the other person's needs and desires. And you have to be willing to share the spotlight, you know. It's not just about you, it's about the two of you together, and you have to find a way to make it work for both of you, you know. The two of you can really come together and just create something amazing. And then with the Wheel of Fortune, which is all about change, right? Well, the Two of Cups is like, okay, this relationship might be bringing some changes into your life. It might be shaking things up a bit, but you have to trust that everything is happening for a reason. You have to trust that the universe is guiding you towards something better, and you have to be willing to embrace the unknown, you know. Because relationships are always evolving, they're always changing, and you have to be willing to adapt and grow together in order to make it work, you know? These changes can be scary, but they are ultimately worth it. And then with the Strength card, oh my gosh, this is so important, because the Strength card is all about, like, that inner resilience and that inner compassion, right? Well, the Two of Cups is like, okay, you need to use that strength and that compassion to navigate the challenges that come up in your relationships. You need to be kind and understanding. You need to be patient and forgiving. And you need to remember that everyone makes mistakes, you know. Relationships are not always easy. They require work, they require effort, and they require a lot of love and understanding. And you have to be willing to put in the time and the energy in order to make them thrive, you know. But they can be so rewarding. And of course, you can't forget about the Lovers. The Two of Cups and the Lovers together, that's like a double dose of relationship energy, right? So, like, the Lovers was all about making choices, about aligning yourself with what truly resonates with your soul. And the Two of Cups is like, okay, now you have a chance to put those choices into action. You have a chance to create relationships that are based on those values. You have a chance to build a life that's full of love and connection and meaning, but you have to be willing to take a risk. You have to be willing to be vulnerable, and you have to be willing to open your heart to another person, you know. So, like, with the Malachite energy and the Emerald Sanctuary theme, this is all about nurturing those connections, right? Like, Malachite is all about growth and transformation, and the Emerald Sanctuary is all about creating a safe and supportive space for yourself. So the Two of Cups is like, okay, you need to create relationships that support your growth, that help you heal, and that allow you to transform into the best version of yourself, you know. You need to create a sanctuary within your relationships, a place where you can be yourself, a place where you can be vulnerable, a place where you can be loved and accepted for who you are, and a place where you can grow and thrive together, you know? This card is all about opening yourself up to the possibilities. So, like, what does this all mean for you right now? Well, it means that you need to take a good, hard look at your relationships, okay? You need to ask yourself, are these relationships healthy? Are they supportive? Are they helping me grow, or are they holding me back? And if they're holding you back, then you need to make some changes, okay? You need to either set some boundaries, you need to communicate your needs, or you need to distance yourself from those relationships altogether, you know. It's not always easy, but it's necessary in order to create a life that's full of love and joy, you know. You are not obligated to keep people around. But you also need to look at the relationships that are working, And you need to nurture those relationships. You need to invest in them. You need to show your appreciation. And you need to make sure that you're giving as much as you're taking, Because relationships are a two-way street, and they require effort from both sides in order to thrive, And most importantly, you need to remember to love yourself, okay? You need to be kind to yourself, you need to be forgiving of yourself, and you need to treat yourself with the same love and respect that you would treat a loved one, Because you are worthy of love, you are worthy of happiness, and you are worthy of healthy relationships. And you need to believe that in order to attract those things into your life, it truly all starts with you. So embrace the Two of Cups, embrace the potential for connection, embrace the possibility of finding that perfect union, but also be aware of the shadow side, be aware of the potential for codependency, and be sure to create relationships that are based on mutual respect, understanding, and love, and to know that you are worthy of love, you are worthy of happiness, and you are worthy of healthy relationships, and just continue to grow into this new and amazing you. Wow, okay, this is just getting so good. I can't even believe how all these cards are connecting together. It's like the universe is telling a story, and we're just here to listen, Okay, but we still have one more card to go, and I am on the edge of my seat. I can't wait to see what it is. What's the final piece of the puzzle? What's the ultimate message that the universe wants you to hear? I'm so excited, I can barely stand it. Okay, here we go. Okay, oh my gosh, are you ready for this? Okay, drum roll please, because we just pulled the Ten of Cups. Oh my goodness, are you serious right now? This is, the most beautiful, happy, joyful card in the whole deck, It's all about, family and community, and, emotional fulfillment, and just, living your best life with the people that you love, Wow, this is so beautiful after everything we've seen so far. It's like the universe is saying, okay, you've done the work, you've faced your challenges, and now you're ready to receive all this amazing abundance and joy, Okay, so, in general, the Ten of Cups is all about, happiness, right? It's about, that feeling of being completely content and satisfied with your life. It's about, having strong, loving relationships with your family and friends. It's about, feeling supported and connected to your community. And it's about, just feeling grateful for all the blessings in your life, It's that feeling of, everything is right in the world, That everything is where it should be. It just all comes together. But it's not just about, fleeting moments of happiness, okay? It's about, long-term, sustainable joy, It's about, building a life that's based on love and connection and shared values. And it's about, creating a legacy of happiness for yourself and for your loved ones, It's about, planting those seeds of joy and watching them grow into something beautiful, It's about establishing those roots. You have to remember that it takes time. You have to be patient. Okay, so, how does this all connect back to the other cards, right? Well, let's start with the Devil. Remember how the Devil was all about those unhealthy attachments and those limiting beliefs. Well, the Ten of Cups is okay, you've broken free from those chains, you've released those limitations, and now you're ready to create healthy, loving relationships that are based on mutual respect and understanding, It's you're replacing those old, toxic patterns with new, positive ones, and you're building a foundation of love and support that's going to last a lifetime, It's really about choosing your happiness and creating a supportive system in your life. This also includes choosing who you want to continue to have in your life. And then with the Queen of Wands, oh my gosh, this is so amazing, because the Queen of Wands is all about radiating that confidence and that passion and that inner fire, right? Well, the Ten of Cups is okay, now you're sharing that fire with your family and friends. You're creating a community of like-minded people who support your dreams and inspire you to be your best self, It's you're using your energy and your enthusiasm to create a ripple effect of joy and positivity that touches everyone around you, You are truly inspiring others. And then with the Wheel of Fortune, which is all about change, right? Well, the Ten of Cups is okay, all these changes that have been happening in your life are leading you towards this place of happiness and fulfillment. You're learning to trust the universe. You're surrendering to the flow of life, and you're knowing that everything is happening for a reason, even when it doesn't make sense, you know? You are going to come out on top. It will be a really beautiful thing. I just know it will. And then with the Strength card, oh my gosh, this is so important, because the Strength card is all about that inner resilience and that inner compassion, right? Well, the Ten of Cups is like, you're using that strength and that compassion to create a safe and nurturing environment for yourself. And for your loved ones, you're building a home that's filled with love, laughter, and understanding. And you're creating a space where everyone feels supported and accepted for who they are, you know? It's just so important. I feel like this is really important to remember with the Strength card. I feel like sometimes it can be really easy to forget. And of course, with the Lovers, like, oh my gosh, this is like the perfect combination, because the Lovers is all about making choices and aligning yourself with what truly resonates with your soul, right? Well, the Ten of Cups is like, okay, you're choosing to create a life that's filled with love and joy and connection. You're choosing to surround yourself with people who lift you up and support your dreams. And you're choosing to live in alignment with your highest values, you know? You are living in alignment. That's amazing. And with the Two of Cups too, oh my gosh, this is just so much relationship energy. It's like, the universe is really emphasizing the importance of connection and partnership in your life right now, you know. The Two of Cups is all about finding that soulmate connection, that kindred spirit who just gets you. And the Ten of Cups is like, okay, you're building a whole community of soulmates, you're creating a tribe of people who love and support you unconditionally, and you're living a life that's filled with meaningful connections and deep, lasting relationships, you know? It's so amazing. I feel like it's so beautiful to hear this, to see this. So, like, with the Malachite Pyramid and the Emerald Sanctuary theme, this is all about nurturing those relationships and creating a safe and supportive space for yourself, right? The Malachite is all about growth and transformation, and the Emerald Sanctuary is all about creating a haven where you can heal and thrive. So the Ten of Cups is like, okay, you're creating a family, whether it's your biological family or a chosen family, that supports your growth, that helps you heal, and that allows you to transform into the best version of yourself, you know. It's about creating a sanctuary where you can be yourself, where you can be vulnerable, and where you can be loved and accepted for who you are, you know. It's just so important to find those people in your life. It will change everything. But like, it's important to remember that the Ten of Cups isn't just about, like, romantic love, okay. It's about all kinds of love. It's about familial love. It's about platonic love. It's about self-love. It's about love for your community, and it's about love for the world around you, you know. It's about recognizing that we're all connected, that we're all part of something bigger than ourselves, and that we all have the power to create a more loving and compassionate world, you know. It's about remembering that you are not alone. You never have been, and you never will be. And like, it's also important to remember that the Ten of Cups isn't always, like, sunshine and rainbows, okay. Like, sometimes family life can be challenging, sometimes relationships can be difficult, and sometimes you might feel like you're not getting the support that you need, you know. But the Ten of Cups is a reminder that even in those challenging times, there's always love and connection to be found. You just have to be willing to look for it, you know. It's about choosing to focus on the positive aspects of your relationships. It's about communicating your needs and boundaries in a healthy way. And it's about being willing to forgive and to let go of resentment, you know. So, like, what does this all mean for you in practical terms? Well, it means that you need to start prioritizing your relationships, okay? You need to make time for your family and friends, you need to show them how much you care, and you need to be there for them when they need you, you know. It means that you need to cultivate a sense of community in your life, whether that's through volunteering, joining a club, or simply reaching out to your neighbors and getting to know them, you know. It means that you need to practice self-care and self-compassion, you need to nurture your own emotional well-being, and you need to create a life that's filled with joy and meaning for yourself, you know? It means that you have to start loving yourself. You have to put in the time and the effort. You have to believe that you are worthy. And like, It also means that you need to be open to receiving love and support from others. You need to let go of your pride and your independence. And you need to allow yourself to be vulnerable and to connect with people on a deeper level, you know. It's not always easy, but it's so worth it, because the more you open your heart to love, the more love you're going to receive in return, you know? You can't close yourself off. You need to open yourself up. Like, this could mean, like, reaching out to a family member that you haven't spoken to in a while, or it could mean joining a new group or club that aligns with your interests, or it could mean simply telling your friends and family how much you appreciate them, you know. It's about taking those small steps to create a more loving and connected life for yourself, and trusting that the universe is going to meet you halfway, you know? You will be so happy you did. I promise you that. So, yeah, the Ten of Cups is all about happiness, fulfillment, and living your best life with the people that you love. It's about creating a community of support and connection. It's about nurturing your emotional well-being, and it's about being grateful for all the blessings in your life. And with all the other cards that we've pulled, it's like you're really on this path of creating a life that's truly aligned with your soul, a life that's filled with joy and love and meaning and abundance. And I'm just so excited to see what happens next for you, you know. What happens next? I can't believe we are about to pull the next card. I am just feeling so much positivity. Like, it is overflowing right now. You are so close to achieving everything you have ever dreamed of. I am so excited to see what happens. I really am. Okay, here we go. Oh my gosh, Malachite Pyramid people, can you even believe this journey we've been on together? Like, from facing those shadowy corners with the devil to basking in the absolute, overflowing joy of the Ten of Cups, it's been a roller coaster of transformation, hasn't it? It's all about that Emerald Sanctuary theme, that safety, that growth, that foundation. And now, to bring it all home, to put the cherry on top of this already incredible Sunday, we have the Magician. Like, seriously? The Magician? This card is just like pure manifestation energy, you know? It's all about taking all of these lessons, all of this growth, all of these experiences, and actively, consciously creating the reality you desire. Like, wow, what a powerful way to end this reading. I'm getting chills again. Okay, so the Magician in general is all about, like, resourcefulness, right? It's about knowing that you have all the tools you need, like, right there in front of you to make your dreams a reality. It's about seeing the potential in every situation and, like, using your skills and your talents to bring your visions to life. It's about tapping into that divine spark within you and, like, channeling that energy into the world. It's like you're not just a passive observer, you're an active creator, and you have the power to shape your own destiny. And you are saying yes to that power. You are saying yes to your capabilities. So, with this card you have the element of earth, which is showing grounding, you have water, which is speaking to your emotions, you have air, which is about knowledge, and you have fire, which is about passion. You have all these elements to put something together. I mean, wow. But it's not just about, like, having the tools, okay. It's about knowing how to use them. The Magician is, like, a master of skill and technique, you know? They've honed their craft, they've practiced their skills, and they know exactly how to manipulate energy to get the results they want. It's about, like, being intentional with your actions. It's about being mindful of your thoughts and your words, and it's about aligning your energy with your goals. But yeah, the action is where it's at. Also, the Magician is about communication, okay. Like, this card is all about, like, expressing yourself clearly and confidently. It's about, like, sharing your ideas with the world, and it's about, like, connecting with others on a deep and meaningful level. It's like you have a message to share, and the Magician is here to help you get that message out there, whether it's through writing, speaking, art, or any other form of creative expression, you know? You are capable of sharing your knowledge. People are going to resonate with you and your spirit. They are going to receive you so well. The Magician also speaks about being who you are, and it is important to embrace your inner weirdness. When you embrace that, people will see you for you. So, yeah, the Magician is all about, like, taking action. It's about, like, being resourceful. It's about, like, communicating your ideas, and it's about, like, manifesting your dreams into reality, you know. So, like, how does this all connect back to the other cards? Well, let's start with the devil. Remember how the devil was all about those limitations and those unhealthy attachments. Well, the magician is like, okay, you've broken free from those chains, you've released those limitations, and now you're ready to create a life that's truly aligned with your soul. A life that's filled with purpose and meaning and joy, you know. It's like you're using your newfound freedom to manifest your dreams into reality, and you're creating a world that's based on your own values and beliefs. And then with the Queen of Wands, oh my gosh, this is, like, so powerful, because the Queen of Wands is all about radiating that confidence and that passion, right? Well, the magician is like, okay, you're channeling that energy into your creations, you're using your passion to fuel your dreams, and you're manifesting your desires with confidence and conviction, you know? It's like you're taking that inner fire and you're turning it into something tangible and real in the world. It's all about that power. Then there's the Wheel, which is all about the changes. This card is like, okay, all these changes that have been happening in your life have prepared you for this moment. You've learned from your experiences, you've grown from your challenges, and now you're ready to step into your power and create the life you've always dreamed of, you know? The wheel is turning and turning in your favor. Okay, so, like, what does this all mean for you in practical terms? Well, it means that you need to start taking action, okay? You need to stop waiting for the perfect moment, you need to stop making excuses, and you need to start doing something, anything, to move you closer to your goals, you know. It means that you need to get clear on what you want, you need to define your vision, and you need to set some intentions, you know. It means that you need to start using your skills and your talents, you need to identify your strengths, and you need to find ways to use them to create value for yourself and for others, you know. It means that you need to start communicating your ideas, you need to share your thoughts and your feelings with the world, and you need to connect with people who resonate with your message, you know. It means that you need to start believing in yourself, you need to trust in your abilities, and you need to know that you are capable of achieving anything you set your mind to, you know. Like maybe you've been wanting to start a business, or write a book, or create a piece of art, or learn a new skill, or travel the world, or whatever it is that lights you up inside, you know. The magician is saying, okay, now is the time. You have everything you need, you have the skills, you have the resources, you have the support, and you have the power to make it happen, you know. I really, truly believe that. So, like, start small, okay? You don't have to do everything at once, you can take baby steps. You can start with just one small action each day, and over time, those small actions are going to add up to something big, you know. It's like you're building a snowball. You're starting with just a tiny flake of snow, and as you roll it down the hill, it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger until it's this massive, unstoppable force, you know. And remember, it's not just about the destination, it's also about the journey, you know. It's about enjoying the process, it's about learning from your mistakes, and it's about celebrating your successes along the way, you know? It's all about living in that emerald sanctuary, that protection. And don't be afraid to ask for help, okay? You don't have to do everything alone. There are people who care about you, there are people who want to support you, and there are people who can offer you guidance and advice, you know? It's like you're part of a community, you're part of a network, and you're part of something bigger than yourself. And you can always reach out to others when you need help, you know. And be open to receiving that help, don't push it away. So, yeah, the magician is all about manifesting your dreams into reality. It's about taking action, it's about using your skills, and it's about believing in yourself. And with all the other cards that we've pulled, it's like you're really on this path of creating a life that's truly aligned with your soul. A life that's filled with purpose and meaning and joy and abundance. And I'm just so incredibly excited to see what you create, you know. The magician is also great at putting together a plan of action and writing out all your goals and steps to achieve those goals. Now is a perfect time to do this. You know what actions to take to get where you want to go. And remember, the Malachite Pyramid is all about growth and nurturing, so nurture those goals, grow those dreams, and you can and will get where you want to be. So trust yourself, believe in yourself, and know that you have the power to create the life you've always dreamed of, and go out there and make it happen. I'm sending you so much love and so much light, and I can't wait to see what amazing things you manifest into the world. I am just so excited for you. Okay, so with the smoky quartz point guiding us, it's all about illuminating the shadows, right? And that's perfect because this reading, Shadow and Light, Unveiling Deeper Truths Together, is all about digging beneath the surface. With these three cards showing up together, the Magician, the Page of Swords, and the Hermit, I'm already feeling this energy of potential meets introspection, you know? It's like someone's on the verge of a breakthrough, but they're also being called to look within before they can really grab it. So let's dive right into this, okay? The Magician, Page of Swords, and the Hermit all at once. It's almost like seeing the beginning, middle, and the soul of the story all at the same time. Okay, the Magician is right up front, and that's big, right? Because that's all about having the tools, the skills, the energy, everything you need is right there. It's about manifesting your desires, but there's this youthful, curious Page of Swords energy right there too, wanting to explore the possibilities, ask all the questions, but maybe, just maybe, feeling a little unsure about how to actually use those tools, you know? Maybe they're even a little afraid of what people might think, or of messing up. And then, right there, grounding it all, is the Hermit, which tells me that before anything can really take off, there's this need to retreat, to go inward, to really understand what you want, what your intentions are. It's like, are you using these tools, the Magician's tools, for your highest good, or are you just trying to impress someone else? Are you being authentic? The Hermit is like that little voice that whispers, hold on, slow down, check in with yourself. Okay? So right away, I'm seeing potential that needs to be grounded in self-awareness, if that makes sense. This isn't just about making something happen, it's about making something happen that is aligned with your truest self, which is the smoky quartz, you know. It's about what is in the shadows. Let's dig into the Magician a little more, because wow, that's powerful energy to kick things off. The Magician is all about action, right? It's about taking initiative, using your skills and resources to create the reality you want. But the thing about the Magician is, you have to believe you have those skills. You have to believe you're capable. And sometimes, that's the hardest part, right? We all have these hidden talents, these untapped potentials, but we doubt ourselves. We let fear hold us back. Maybe this connection, this potential partnership, is bringing up some of those insecurities for you. Maybe you're wondering if you're good enough, if you have what it takes to make it work. And that's where the Hermit comes in again, reminding you to go inward, to reconnect with your own inner power. The Magician isn't about showing off or trying to be someone you're not. It's about recognizing the magic that already exists within you. Think about it like this. You're an artist, and you have all these amazing paints, brushes, and canvases. That's the Magician energy. But you're staring at a blank canvas, feeling totally overwhelmed. That's the Page of Swords, full of questions and doubts. The Hermit is saying, close your eyes. What do you feel? What do you want to express? Once you connect with that inner vision, the rest will flow. It just will. And maybe this connection is the catalyst for that. Maybe this person is showing you a side of yourself that you haven't seen before. Maybe they're reflecting your own potential back to you, helping you to realize just how amazing you really are. But the key here is, it has to come from within. You can't rely on them to validate you or to make you feel worthy. That's your job, and the Hermit is here to guide you on that journey. So the Magician is there. What about the Page of Swords though, right? So the Page of Swords often represents communication, new ideas, curiosity, but also, sometimes, a bit of anxiety. It's like you have all these thoughts swirling around in your head, all these questions you want to ask, but you're not quite sure how to express them. Maybe you're afraid of saying the wrong thing or of being judged. I feel like the Page of Swords is that little voice that says, what if it doesn't work out? What if I get hurt? What if I'm not good enough? It's the voice of doubt and fear, and it can be really loud sometimes, right? Especially when you're dealing with something new and exciting, like this potential connection seems to be. But the thing about the Page of Swords is, it's not meant to paralyze you. It's meant to encourage you to be thoughtful, to be discerning, to gather information before you take action. It's about being a good communicator, about expressing your needs and your boundaries clearly. So, with the Page of Swords here, alongside the Magician, it's like you're being called to communicate your intentions clearly and with honesty. Like, what do you really want from this connection? What are your expectations? What are your fears? It's okay to have those questions, but don't let them hold you back from exploring the possibilities. The Page of Swords is also about being open to new perspectives, to seeing things from a different angle. Maybe this person has something to teach you, something that can help you grow and evolve. But you have to be willing to listen, to be open to their ideas. Think of it like this. You're trying to solve a puzzle, and you have all these different pieces. The Page of Swords is like the instruction manual, guiding you through the process. It's helping you to see how the pieces fit together, even when it's not immediately obvious. But you can't just rely on the instruction manual, you also have to use your own intuition, your own creativity. That's where the Magician comes in again, empowering you to take action, to experiment, to find your own unique solution. So, the Page of Swords is asking you questions. Now let's talk about the Hermit. The Hermit is all about introspection, solitude, and finding answers within. It's about taking a step back from the chaos of the world and connecting with your own inner wisdom. And I feel like with these cards together, it's even more potent because it's like, yes, there's the Magician and all this potential, and the Page of Swords with questions, but the Hermit is saying, hold on, before you go running off and manifesting all these things, you need to get clear on why you're doing it. Right? What are your true intentions? What are your values? What do you really want from this connection, from this life? The Hermit isn't about hiding away from the world forever. It's about taking a temporary retreat, a moment of stillness, to recharge your batteries and to gain clarity. It's about connecting with your own inner light so that you can shine brighter when you return to the world. Like this card comes up and I always think about needing to unplug, you know? And with a smoky quartz, that illumination piece. You might need some time to, like, detox from external influences like social media or other people's opinions and just listen to your own intuition. What does your heart tell you about this person, about this potential? And that's where the magic truly lies. The Hermit also suggests a period of healing, of letting go of old wounds and patterns that no longer serve you. Maybe you've been hurt in the past and you're afraid of getting hurt again. The Hermit is reminding you that you are strong, you are resilient, and you have the power to heal yourself. You don't have to carry those old wounds with you into this new connection. Think about it like this. You're a gardener and you're preparing to plant a new garden. The Hermit is telling you to take some time to clear out the weeds, to till the soil, to nourish the ground. You can't just throw seeds into barren land and expect them to grow. You have to create the right conditions for growth, both internally and externally. Okay, wow. So what's really hitting me here is that this isn't just about finding love or partnership. It's about finding yourself, you know? Like, these three cards together are painting a picture of someone on the cusp of a major transformation. And I think it's because you have so much potential for growth. Okay, so the World card showing up here right now. Oh my gosh, that's major, right? I mean, the World is like, it's the end of the journey, the big finale, the standing ovation, you know? It's all about completion, fulfillment, feeling like you've reached the top of the mountain and you can finally see everything laid out before you. But the thing is, with the Magician, Page of Swords, and the Hermit already in the mix, it's not just about reaching the end, it's about understanding how you got there. It's like you've been climbing this mountain, right? And the Magician gave you all the tools you needed, the rope, the compass, the map. The Page of Swords was there like, are we sure this is the right way? What if we run into a bear? Are we even wearing the right shoes? You know, all those questions. And the Hermit was like, hold on, let's just take a breather and make sure we're actually enjoying the view, and that we even want to get to the top. Right, so now the World is here, and it's saying, okay, you've made it. But did you learn anything along the way? Did you grow? Did you become a better person? Because that's what the World is really about, integration. It's about taking all those different experiences, all those different parts of yourself, and weaving them together into a beautiful, cohesive whole. It's like a mosaic, you know. All these little pieces that might seem random or insignificant on their own, but when you put them all together, they create this stunning masterpiece. And that's you. That's what you're becoming. Oh my gosh. And with the smoky quartz there as well, I mean, it's just amplifying that sense of integration, of bringing the shadows into the light, of accepting all aspects of yourself, even the ones you might not be so proud of. Because those shadows, those challenges, they're just as important as the highlights, you know? They're what make you who you are. They're what give you depth and character. So, with this connection, this potential partnership, wow, it's like it's helping you to see that bigger picture. It's helping you to integrate all those different parts of yourself to feel more whole, more complete. Maybe this person is reflecting back to you aspects of yourself that you haven't fully embraced yet. Maybe they're challenging you to step outside your comfort zone, to confront your fears, to become the best version of yourself. But the key here, and this is so important, is that you can't just rush into things, you know? You can't just jump to the world without doing the work that the hermit is calling for. You need to take that time to go inward, to connect with your own inner wisdom, to really understand what you want and what you need from this connection. Because the world isn't just about finding completion in a relationship, it's about finding completion within yourself. It's about being whole and complete as an individual so that you can bring that wholeness to the relationship. Does that make sense? It's like you can't expect someone else to complete you, you have to complete yourself first. And the hermit is there to guide you on that journey, to help you find that inner sense of peace and fulfillment. Now, the world is also a card of travel, of expansion, of seeing the world and experiencing new cultures. So, this could also be hinting at the possibility of traveling with this person, of exploring new horizons together. Maybe you'll take a trip somewhere exotic, or maybe you'll just explore different parts of your own city that you've never seen before. But whatever it is, it's about expanding your horizons, both literally and figuratively. It's about seeing the world through a different lens and learning from those experiences. And oh my gosh, can you imagine? Traveling with someone you're really connecting with on a soul level. That could be incredible. I mean, you'd be learning so much about each other, about yourselves, about the world. It would be like this accelerated course in personal growth and intimacy, you know. But again, you have to be ready for it. You have to be willing to step outside your comfort zone, to embrace the unknown, to trust that everything is happening for a reason. But okay, I don't want to get too carried away here, because the world isn't always sunshine and rainbows, right? It can also represent the end of a cycle, the closing of a chapter. So, it's important to be aware that this connection might not last forever. It might just be a stepping stone on your path, a lesson that you need to learn before you can move on to something even better. And that's okay, you know. Not every relationship is meant to last a lifetime. Some relationships are just meant to teach us something, to help us grow, to prepare us for something else. And even if this connection does end, it doesn't mean it was a failure. It just means it served its purpose. But the key is to be present in the moment, to enjoy the journey, to learn from the experiences, and to trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it's meant to. Because even if you can't see the bigger picture right now, even if you're still feeling a little lost or confused, the world is here to remind you that you're on the right path. You're exactly where you need to be. So, with the Magician, Page of Swords, the Hermit, and now the World, it's like you're being guided towards this incredible sense of wholeness and fulfillment. You're being challenged to step into your power, to communicate your needs and desires clearly, to connect with your own inner wisdom, and to embrace the journey wherever it may lead. And this partnership, it seems like it could be a catalyst for all of that. It could be the thing that pushes you to finally take that leap of faith, to finally become the person you were always meant to be. But it's up to you to do the work. It's up to you to embrace the challenges, to learn from the experiences, and to trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it's meant to. Also, something I'm feeling with the world is that it's about cycles. You've come to the end of one phase, but that means you're about to start another one. So even though things might feel complete, that doesn't mean there isn't more to come. In fact, it might just mean that you're ready for something even bigger, even better. You know, it's almost like graduating from college. You've finished your degree, you've learned all these things, and you're ready to go out into the world and make your mark. But that's just the beginning, right? There's still so much more to learn, so many more experiences to have. And the same is true here. You might have reached the end of one cycle, but that just means you're ready to start a new one. And this connection, this partnership, It could be a big part of that new cycle. It could be the thing that helps you to take that next step to reach for something even greater. But again, it's up to you to decide what you want that to be. It's up to you to define your own version of success and fulfillment. The world is also about recognition, about being acknowledged for your accomplishments. So, maybe this partnership will bring you some kind of recognition or reward, either personally or professionally. Maybe you'll achieve a goal together, or maybe you'll just receive some kind of validation for the work you've been doing. But again, it's important not to get too caught up in the external rewards. The real reward is the inner sense of peace and fulfillment that comes from living your truth, from being authentic, and from embracing the journey. And that's something that no one can take away from you. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. Okay, so we've got this incredible sense of potential, introspection, and completion. But I'm still feeling like there might be some challenges ahead. Like, what happens after you reach the world? What happens after you've climbed the mountain? Do you just stay there forever? Or do you find a new mountain to climb? And what if you encounter some unexpected obstacles along the way? This is so interesting. I can't wait to see what the next cards reveal. Like, are there any shadows lurking that still need to be illuminated? Are there any fears or doubts that still need to be addressed? Are there any lessons that still need to be learned? Because even though the world is a card of completion, it's also a reminder that the journey is never really over. There's always more to learn, more to experience, and more to become. And that's what makes life so exciting. Okay. So, death. Now, don't freak out. I know the death card, it sounds scary, right? But seriously, with the tarot, it's hardly ever about actual, physical death. It's about transformation, endings, and new beginnings, like huge shifts. And honestly, with everything we've already seen, the Magician, the Page of Swords, the Hermit, and then bam, the World, it makes total sense that death would show up now. It's like, you can't get to that ultimate fulfillment of the world without shedding some old skin first, You have to let go of what's holding you back. It's like that smoky quartz that we started with, illuminating. Like we can't step into our true potential without facing our shadows. And death is like the ultimate shadow work card, right? So think about it this way. All that potential with the Magician, that spark of curiosity with the Page of Swords, all that soul-searching with the Hermit, and then finally reaching the top of the mountain with the World. It all leads to this moment. This moment where you're being asked to release what no longer serves you. To clear the decks for something even better, even more aligned with your true self. Maybe it's an old identity, an outdated belief, a toxic relationship pattern, or even just a fear that's been holding you back for years. Whatever it is, death is saying, it's time to let it go. I know that can be easier said than done, right? Like, we get so attached to our stories, to our comfort zones, even when those things are actually hurting us. But the thing is, holding on to the old prevents us from embracing the new. You cannot pour new wine into old wineskins, right? And with this potential partnership in the mix, it's even more interesting. Maybe this relationship is the catalyst for this transformation. Maybe this person is showing you the parts of yourself that need to die, the parts that are no longer serving your highest good. Or, and this is a big or, maybe this relationship itself is what needs to be released. Maybe it's run its course, or maybe it's just not the right fit for the person you're becoming. Ouch, right. I know that's not always what we want to hear, but sometimes the greatest act of love we can give someone is to let them go. And the greatest act of self-love is to release anything that's holding us back from our own growth. And this card is about growth. Think about the Hermit for a second. All that time spent in solitude, reflecting on your values, connecting with your inner wisdom. That was all preparation for this moment. You were clearing out the old weeds, tilling the soil so that you could plant new seeds. And now, death is like the fertilizer, helping those seeds to sprout and grow. Gross analogy, but you get the idea. Also, this is illuminating shadows, right? And remember the Page of Swords with all those questions and doubts. Maybe some of those doubts were actually valid. Maybe there were red flags that you were ignoring or needs that weren't being met. Death is giving you the courage to face those truths, to be honest with yourself about what you really want and need, and to cut away what is no longer working. It's also important to remember that death isn't just about endings, it's about beginnings. It's about rebirth, renewal, and transformation. Think of it like the phoenix rising from the ashes. You have to let the old burn away in order to make way for the new. And that can be a really powerful, exhilarating experience. But that smoky quartz makes me think we have to really look at these shadows to see what's going on. This is like, when a caterpillar goes into a chrysalis. It completely dissolves, right? It turns into this goopy mess. And then, out of that mess, emerges a beautiful butterfly. That's what death is all about. You might feel like you're dissolving right now, like everything you thought you knew is falling apart. But trust me, something even more beautiful is waiting on the other side. So don't be scared of the goopy mess. Embrace it. Let it transform you. It's part of the process. It's necessary. And here's the thing. This transformation isn't just about you. It's about your connection to the world, to the universe, to everything. Remember the world card? That feeling of completion, of integration? Death is actually a key part of that. You can't truly integrate all aspects of yourself until you've faced your shadows, until you've released what no longer serves you. It's like, imagine you're building a house. You've got all these beautiful materials, but you also have some old, rotten wood. You can't just build with that rotten wood, right? You have to tear it down, remove it, and replace it with something new. Death is that process of tearing down the old so that you can build something stronger, more beautiful, and more sustainable. This smoky quartz is there to show you what has to go so you can build that beautiful house. And this partnership, again, it could be a part of that process. It could be the thing that helps you to identify what needs to be released. Maybe this person is triggering you in ways that are forcing you to confront your own issues. Or maybe, and I know this is hard to hear, maybe this person is the rotten wood that needs to be removed. I am not saying that's the case. It's important to remember that these cards aren't fortune tellers. They're guides. They're showing you potential paths, potential challenges, and potential opportunities. And it's up to you to decide how you want to respond. But with death here, it's really important to be honest with yourself about what's working and what's not. Don't cling to something just because you're afraid of change. Don't settle for something that's less than you deserve. You are worthy of love, of happiness, of fulfillment. And sometimes that means letting go of what's not serving you, even if it's painful. Think about it like this. You're wearing a pair of shoes that are too small. They're pinching your toes, they're causing you pain, but you keep wearing them because you're used to them. Death is saying, take off those shoes, they're hurting you. There are so many other shoes out there that will fit you perfectly, but you have to be willing to take off the old ones first. I feel like the smoky quartz is really saying something about how those shoes are pinching you, too. And it's not just about relationships. It could be about your career, your living situation, your hobbies, your friendships. Anything that's no longer aligned with your true self. Maybe you've been feeling stuck in a rut, like you're not living up to your full potential. Death is giving you the green light to make a change. To quit that job you hate, to move to that city you've always dreamed of, to pursue that passion you've been putting off. It's scary, I know. Change is always scary, but it's also exciting. It's an opportunity to create a life that's more authentic, more fulfilling, and more aligned with your soul's purpose. And that's what the Death card is really about. Living a life that's true to yourself. Living a life that's aligned with your values. Living a life that's full of joy, passion, and purpose. And with the world still hanging in the air, that potential for completion, it's like death is clearing the path for you to step into that fully realized version of yourself. It's like saying, okay, you've done the work, you've learned the lessons, now it's time to claim your prize. But you can't claim that prize until you've released the baggage that's holding you back. I almost want to say that it wants you to start digging into what makes you you and what makes you happy. So, yeah, death can be a scary card, but it's also a really powerful one. It's a reminder that change is inevitable, that endings are necessary, and that new beginnings are always possible. Embrace the transformation. Trust the process. And know that something even more beautiful is waiting for you on the other side. With this smoky quartz there, it wants you to not be scared of that transformation that's coming. Okay, so now I'm really curious about what's coming next. I mean, we've got this huge transformation happening, but what's it transforming into? What's the next chapter of the story? Are there going to be any challenges along the way? Or is it going to be smooth sailing from here on out? Because, let's be real, it's never completely smooth sailing, right? There's always something else to learn, something else to overcome. But wow, this is huge. This is exciting. I can't wait to see what the next card reveals. It really will show us the light, with all of these shadows being cast. Okay, so the Knight of Swords, whoa. Okay, so after all of that, right? All that like deep, heavy, transformative energy, we get the Knight of Swords. This is like lightning, right? It's fast, it's direct, it's maybe a little bit intense. It's like, okay, I've got an idea and I'm going for it. Which, could be amazing or could be a little bit chaotic, right? I'm already feeling like this is going to shake things up just a little bit. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is going to be good. So how does this knight fit in with everything else we've got going on here? Like, we started with the Magician, right? All that potential, all those tools at your disposal. Then the Page of Swords, asking all the questions, wondering if you're ready to use them. The Hermit saying, hold on, slow down, check in with yourself first. Then bam, the World, this feeling of completion, of finally reaching the top of the mountain. And then Death saying, okay, time to shed the old skin, to transform, to let go of what's no longer serving you. Like Hugh, that's a lot, right? And now the Knight of Swords. So is this knight like, charging forward with all that newfound energy, that new sense of self? Is he like, okay, I know what I want, I know what I need to do, and I'm not going to let anything stop me? That could be really powerful, right? Like you've done the inner work, you've cleared out the old baggage, and now you're ready to take action to manifest your desires. Or is this knight a little bit premature? Is he like jumping the gun before you've fully integrated those lessons from the Hermit and Death? Is he so eager to move forward that he's not really thinking things through, not considering the consequences? That could be a problem, right? Because the Knight of Swords, he can be a little bit reckless. He's all about action, but not always about planning. It's like ready, fire, aim, which can sometimes lead to, a few bumps and bruises along the way. I feel like, with that smoky quartz energy still hanging around, we really need to look at this knight carefully. Because he could be amazing, he could be the catalyst for some incredible growth and change. But he could also be a bit of a wild card, a bit of a disruption to the process. We gotta figure out which one it is and how to make the most of it. Because let's be real, the Knight of Swords, he's not exactly known for his patience or his diplomacy. He's more likely to just barrel through obstacles, say what's on his mind, and not really worry about who he might be upsetting along the way. Which, can be refreshing sometimes, right? Like, we all know people who are too afraid to speak their truth, who tiptoe around issues, who never really say what they mean. The Knight of Swords is the opposite of that. He's all about honesty, directness, and cutting through the BS. But that can also be a little bit abrasive. So, with this potential partnership in the mix, this Knight of Swords energy could manifest in a few different ways. Maybe this person is the knight. Maybe they're the one who's charging forward, pushing you to take action, challenging your beliefs, and not always being the most sensitive about it. Or maybe you're the knight. Maybe you're the one who's feeling this sudden urge to take charge, to speak your mind, to make things happen, regardless of the consequences. Or, and this is interesting, maybe this Knight of Swords energy is actually about the relationship itself. Maybe the relationship is moving too fast, too intensely. Maybe you're both so eager to make it work that you're not really taking the time to get to know each other, to build a solid foundation. That could be a recipe for disaster, right? Because relationships need time to grow, to develop, to weather the storms. You can't just force them into existence. So, okay, let's dig into the shadow side of this knight a little bit more, because with that smoky quartz, we have to. Because the Knight of Swords, when he's not being all heroic and action-oriented, he can be a real pain in the butt, right? He can be impulsive, reckless, arrogant, and even a little bit aggressive. He can be so focused on his own goals that he completely ignores the needs and feelings of others. He can be so convinced that he's right that he refuses to listen to anyone else's perspective. And that can be really damaging, especially in a relationship. If you're constantly charging forward without considering your partner's feelings, if you're always trying to win arguments instead of trying to understand each other, if you're never willing to compromise, then you're going to end up pushing them away. You're going to create conflict and resentment, and eventually, the relationship is going to crumble. So, it's really important to be aware of these potential pitfalls, to be mindful of your own behavior, and to make sure that you're not letting the Knight of Swords energy take over. Because remember, we've got the Hermit in the mix here too. And the Hermit is all about introspection, about slowing down, about connecting with your own inner wisdom. So if you're feeling this urge to charge forward, to take action, take a deep breath. Pause, check in with yourself. Ask yourself, am I doing this for the right reasons? Am I considering the consequences? Am I being respectful of others? Also, remember the Page of Swords, all those questions, all that curiosity. Maybe you need to tap into that energy too. Maybe you need to do a little bit more research, gather a little bit more information before you take action. Maybe you need to ask some tough questions, to challenge your own assumptions, to be open to new perspectives. Because the Knight of Swords, he can be a little bit tunnel-visioned. He gets so focused on his goal that he forgets to look around to see what else is out there. And of course, we can't forget about death. Because death is all about transformation, about letting go of what's no longer serving you. So, maybe this Knight of Swords energy is actually about cutting ties, about ending a cycle, about moving on to something new. Maybe it's time to walk away from a situation that's no longer working, to release a relationship that's holding you back, to embrace a new chapter in your life. That can be scary, right? Especially after you've invested so much time and energy into something. But sometimes, the bravest thing you can do is to walk away. To acknowledge that something isn't right, to release it with love and gratitude, and to trust that something even better is waiting for you on the other side. I feel like, and this is huge, that Smoky Quartz is asking that you be brave enough to walk away too. So, okay, what does all this mean in practical terms? What concrete steps can you take to harness the Knight of Swords energy in a positive way and to avoid the potential pitfalls? Well, first of all, be honest with yourself. What are you really feeling? What do you really want? What are your fears? Don't try to suppress your emotions. Don't try to pretend that everything is okay when it's not. Acknowledge your feelings and then try to understand them. Where are they coming from? What are they trying to tell you? Second, communicate clearly and directly. Don't beat around the bush, don't hint at things, don't expect people to read your mind. Say what you mean and mean what you say. But also, be respectful. Be mindful of your tone, your body language, and your timing. You can be honest without being hurtful. You can be direct without being aggressive. Third, take action, but don't be reckless. Don't just jump into things without thinking them through. Do your research, gather information, and weigh the pros and cons. But also, don't get paralyzed by analysis. At some point, you have to take a leap of faith. You have to trust your intuition, and you have to go for it. Fourth, be willing to compromise. Relationships are about give and take. You can't always get your way. You have to be willing to listen to your partner's perspective, to understand their needs, and to find solutions that work for both of you. This isn't a battle to be won, it's a partnership to be nurtured. And fifth, and this is so important, be willing to walk away if things aren't working. Don't cling to something just because you're afraid of being alone or because you've invested so much time and energy into it. Know your worth and don't settle for anything less than you deserve. Okay, wow. This Knight of Swords has really stirred things up, right? It's like, just when we thought we were getting to a place of completion and transformation, bam, here comes this energy, shaking things up, challenging us to take action, to be honest, and to be brave. And that Smoky Quartz is right there, to show us the shadows so we know what we're fighting for. I am so curious to see what the final card is going to be. Is it going to be something that helps to ground this Knight of Swords energy, to channel it in a positive direction? Or is it going to be something that amplifies the chaos, that pushes us even further out of our comfort zone? I have no idea, but I am so ready to find out. I have a feeling that we're about to get some serious clarity, some serious insight into what's really going on here. What is next? Okay, so the Six of Cups, oh my gosh, this is like a total shift in energy, right? We go from that Knight of Swords, all that action and intensity, to the Six of Cups, which is like so gentle and sweet and nostalgic. It's like taking a break from the chaos to remember simpler times. Wow, so what does this mean in the context of everything else we've seen? Like with the Magician, Page of Swords, the Hermit, the World, Death, and then that Knight of Swords, and then like bam, Six of Cups. It's like the universe is saying, okay, hold on a second, you need to reconnect with your inner child, you need to remember what truly makes you happy. I really feel like that smoky quartz is still illuminating that. It feels like a little bit of a relief. The Six of Cups is often about looking back at the past, right? It's about childhood memories, innocence, and simpler times. So maybe this is a sign that you need to reconnect with those things. Maybe you've been so focused on the future, on manifesting your desires, on transforming yourself, that you've forgotten to enjoy the present moment. You know. Like with the Magician and the Knight of Swords, it's all about doing, and the Hermit and the Death cards want you to look internally and see your truth. But the Six of Cups is like, hey, remember to have some fun, remember to play, remember what it felt like to be a kid without all the responsibilities and worries. What were your hobbies as a kid? What did you really love to do? Maybe now is the time to revisit some of those things. Maybe you need to find a way to bring more joy and playfulness into your life. It could also be about reconnecting with people from your past, right? The Six of Cups often represents childhood friends, old flames, or even family members. Maybe someone from your past is about to reappear in your life. Or maybe you're feeling drawn to reach out to someone you haven't spoken to in a while. And you know what? That could be really healing. It could be a way to resolve old conflicts, to forgive past hurts, or to simply reconnect with someone who knows you really well. But, and this is a big but, it's important to be mindful of why you're reaching out to these people, you know. Are you doing it because you genuinely want to reconnect, or are you doing it because you're feeling lonely or insecure? Are you trying to recreate the past, or are you open to seeing how things have changed? Because sometimes, the past is best left in the past. Sometimes, trying to rekindle an old flame can just lead to disappointment and heartache. And with that Death card there, that transformation, it's like, maybe you've outgrown some of those relationships. Maybe you're on a different path now, and those people just aren't meant to be a part of your journey anymore. The smoky quartz could be showing that to you as well. So, it's really important to check in with yourself, to ask yourself what your intentions are, and to be honest about what you're hoping to get out of it. Because if you're just trying to escape the present, or to avoid dealing with your current issues, then reconnecting with the past isn't going to solve anything. It might even make things worse. Also, don't let nostalgia keep you from moving forward. But what if this Six of Cups is actually related to this potential partnership we've been talking about? How does it fit in with the Magician, Page of Swords, the Hermit, the World, Death, and the Knight of Swords? Well, maybe this partnership is bringing up some childhood memories or unresolved issues. Maybe this person is reminding you of someone from your past, or maybe you're projecting some of your past experiences onto this relationship. Like, maybe you had a really bad experience with a past relationship, and now you're afraid of getting hurt again. So you're being overly cautious, or you're pushing this person away, or you're creating drama where there doesn't need to be any. That smoky quartz wants you to see those patterns. It could also be that this person is triggering your inner child in some way. Maybe they're bringing out your playful side, your sense of wonder, your ability to just let go and have fun. Or maybe they're triggering some old wounds, some unmet needs from your childhood. Maybe you didn't get enough attention or affection as a kid, and now you're looking for that in this relationship. Which, you know, is a pretty common thing. We all have those unmet needs, those little inner children who are still longing for love and validation. But it's important to be aware of those needs, to understand where they're coming from, and to find healthy ways to meet them. You can't expect your partner to be your therapist, your parent, or your savior. That's too much pressure to put on someone. Okay, so what if, and this is just a thought, what if this Six of Cups is actually about creating a sense of safety and security in the relationship? Like, maybe you both need to work on creating a safe space where you can be vulnerable, where you can share your feelings, where you can be yourselves without fear of judgment. Maybe you need to establish some clear boundaries, to communicate your needs and expectations, and to learn how to resolve conflicts in a healthy way. Because relationships are all about creating a sense of connection and intimacy, right? But you can't have that without feeling safe and secure. And maybe that's what the Six of Cups is really about. Creating that foundation of safety and security so that you can build a lasting and meaningful relationship. And with the Knight of Swords there, charging forward, maybe you need to slow down a little bit, you know? Maybe you need to take a step back and create that safe space before you go any further. Maybe you need to have some honest conversations about your fears, your expectations, and your boundaries. Because if you're not on the same page, if you're not communicating effectively, then you're just going to end up running into problems down the road. So, the Six of Cups is like a gentle reminder to slow down, to connect with your heart, and to create that foundation of safety and security before you go any further. Especially because you want to make sure you're not just charging forward because you're not paying attention to those shadows. So, the Six of Cups can be about nostalgia, childhood memories, reconnecting with the past, and creating a sense of safety and security in relationships. But it's also about self-care, right? It's about nurturing your inner child, about finding joy in the simple things, and about taking care of your emotional needs. And with all this intense energy we've been seeing, with the Magician, Page of Swords, the Hermit, the World, Death, and the Knight of Swords, it's really important to take some time for yourself. To do things that make you happy, to connect with your loved ones, and to recharge your batteries. Because you can't pour from an empty cup. You need to take care of yourself first so that you can be there for others, so that you can manifest your desires, and so that you can transform your life. With that smoky quartz there, I want you to make sure you're pouring into yourself so that you can see the light. And honestly, a lot of that is knowing when to slow down. It could be really helpful to think about what self-care looks like for you, specifically. What activities make you feel good? What helps you to relax and distress? Is it taking a hot bath? Reading a good book? Spending time in nature? Listening to music? Dancing? Creating art? Whatever it is, make time for it. Schedule it into your day just like you would any other important appointment. Because self-care isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. It's essential for your well-being, for your relationships, and for your ability to live a fulfilling life. Okay, so with all of that said, I'm still feeling like there's something more to this Six of Cups. Like, we've talked about nostalgia, childhood memories, reconnecting with the past, creating a sense of safety and security and self-care. But I'm still feeling like there's a deeper message here, something that we haven't quite uncovered yet. With the Six of Cups here, what are we missing? Okay, so the Hierophant, right? Usually this card is all about tradition, institutions, doing things the right way, following the rules. It can feel a little bit stuffy, right? Like it's telling you to conform, to fit in, to not rock the boat. You almost want to run in the other direction, especially with the Knight of Swords still in the mix, right? But wait a minute, I don't think it's that simple. I feel like the Hierophant is also about seeking guidance, about learning from those who have come before you, about understanding the established systems before you try to change them. With a relationship, that might mean looking to your family, your friends, or even relationship experts for advice. It could be about understanding the traditional roles and expectations that come with partnership. But the thing is, tradition isn't always the best way, right? What was good for your parents might not be good for you. What works for your friends might not work for you. And just because something is traditional doesn't mean it's right or fair or healthy. Which is where that smoky quartz comes in. We need to illuminate the shadows of those traditions. Sometimes, those traditions are based on outdated beliefs, on power imbalances, or even on just plain old ignorance. So, okay, how do you balance that? How do you honor tradition without sacrificing your own values, your own needs, your own authenticity? How do you find your own path when there are so many voices telling you what to do? Well, I think it starts with questioning everything. Don't just blindly accept what you've been told. Do your own research, gather your own information, and form your own opinions. Talk to different people, listen to different perspectives, and be open to changing your mind. And that ties back to the Page of Swords, all those questions, right? But it's not just about questioning external sources, it's also about questioning yourself. What do you really believe? What do you really want? What are your non-negotiables? What are you willing to compromise on? And honestly, that's where the Hermit comes in again, right? Because you can't answer those questions without going inward, without connecting with your own inner wisdom. You need to spend some time alone, reflecting on your values, your experiences, and your desires. You need to get clear on who you are and what you stand for, so that you can make choices that are aligned with your true self. And it can be scary to go against the grain, to challenge the status quo, to forge your own path. People might judge you, they might criticize you, they might even try to sabotage you. But you can't let that stop you. You have to be true to yourself, even if it means standing alone. Especially with that smoky quartz there, you have to illuminate what's in those shadows. Okay, so how does this Hierophant energy play out in the context of this potential partnership? With the Magician, the Page of Swords, the Hermit, the World, Death, the Knight of Swords, and the Six of Cups, all that incredible stuff, it's like. Maybe this relationship is challenging your beliefs about love, about partnership, about what's possible. Maybe this person is different from anyone you've ever dated before. Maybe they have different values, different backgrounds, or different lifestyles. And that can be exciting, but it can also be scary, right? It can force you to confront your own biases, your own assumptions, and your own fears. And the Hierophant is saying, okay, before you jump into anything, take a look at your own beliefs about relationships. Where did those beliefs come from? Are they serving you? Are they helping you to create the kind of relationship you want? Maybe you grew up with the idea that relationships are supposed to be a certain way, that men are supposed to do this, and women are supposed to do that, or whatever. But those ideas might not be relevant anymore. They might be holding you back from creating a relationship that's truly fulfilling. What do you want your relationship to look like? What are your values? What are your needs? Don't just blindly follow the rules, create your own. And maybe this relationship is actually about breaking down those old structures, those old patterns, those old beliefs. Maybe it's about creating something new, something that's never been done before. That's what that Death card was about, right? Letting go of what no longer serves you so that you can make way for something better. But you can't just tear down the old without having a plan for the new. You need to create a new foundation, a new structure, a new set of values to guide you forward. And that's where the Hierophant comes in again. Because it's not just about breaking the rules, it's about creating new ones. It's about defining your own terms, about creating your own code of ethics, about building a relationship that's based on mutual respect, trust, and understanding. And maybe, just maybe, this relationship is actually meant to be a teacher, a guide, a mentor. Maybe this person is here to help you learn something, to grow in some way, to evolve into a better version of yourself. And with that smoky quartz, we want to be open to that learning. The Hierophant can also represent a teacher or a mentor, someone who can help you understand the established systems, the traditional ways of doing things, so that you can make informed decisions about your own path. But remember, you are the ultimate authority on your own life. You have the power to choose your own path, to define your own values, and to create your own reality. Don't give that power away to anyone else. Okay, and let's bring it back to that smoky quartz, because it's been guiding us through all of this, right? Illuminating the shadows, helping us to see the truth. The Hierophant, in its shadow side, can be all about dogma, rigidity, and blind faith. It can be about clinging to outdated beliefs, refusing to question authority, and suppressing your own individuality. And that's exactly what the smoky quartz is here to prevent. It's here to remind you that you have the power to think for yourself, to question everything, and to find your own truth. Don't let anyone tell you what to believe, how to feel, or what to do. Trust your own intuition, listen to your own heart, and follow your own path. And that means being willing to look at the shadows, to confront your own fears, and to challenge your own assumptions. It means being honest with yourself about what you really want, what you really need, and what you're really willing to do to get it. And it means being willing to walk away from anything that's not aligned with your true self, even if it's scary, even if it's painful, and even if it's what you thought you wanted. Because you deserve to live a life that's authentic, that's fulfilling, and that's aligned with your soul's purpose. And that's what the smoky quartz is here to help you create. So okay, what does all of this mean for you right now? with the Magician, Page of Swords, the Hermit, the World, Death, Knight of Swords, the Six of Cups, and now the Hierophant. It's like you're being called to step into your power, to question everything, to create your own rules, and to live a life that's truly aligned with your soul's purpose. This potential partnership, it could be a catalyst for that transformation. It could be the thing that pushes you to finally break free from old patterns, to challenge your beliefs, and to create something new and beautiful. But it's up to you to do the work. It's up to you to embrace the challenges, to learn from the experiences, and to trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it's meant to. You have all the tools you need. The Magician showed you that. You have the curiosity and the intelligence to figure things out. The Page of Swords reminded you of that. You have the inner wisdom to guide you. The Hermit illuminated that for you. You have the potential to create a life that's full of joy, love, and fulfillment. The World showed you that. You have the courage to let go of what no longer serves you. Death made sure you knew that. You have the energy and the passion to take action. The Knight of Swords charged you with that. You have the ability to connect with your heart and create a safe space. The Six of Cups encouraged you to do that. So, trust yourself, trust the process, and know that you are not alone. The universe is supporting you every step of the way. And most importantly, remember to have fun, because life is too short to be serious all the time. Embrace your inner child, reconnect with your passions, and find joy in the simple things. And with that Hierophant energy guiding you, you can create a life that's both meaningful and fulfilling. That's both grounded in tradition and free to explore new possibilities. And that's truly, authentically you. You can make all the rules and you can change them too. So go out there and shine your light, illuminate those shadows, and create the life you were always meant to live. Because you are amazing, you are powerful, and you are loved. And that Smoky Quartz wants you to know that.